alone in my room, time after time. All I've got left is my will to survive, but I've got the fire burning inside, and I've waited so long for this moment in time. I'm gonna change, you wait and see. I'm gonna be the best I can be. I'll be much better than everybody, 'cause this time it's all about me. You can dream when you sleep, you can sleep when you're dead. The bitch is hungry and she needs to be fed. I'm not gonna have sand kicked in my face anymore till the day that I die. Show me the way, show me a sign, show me that this time it's my turn to shine. I'm gonna be so much better than you, 'cause this time it's all about me.
About me, it's all about me. Not you, it's all about me. Fuck you, 'cause it's all about me.
Early to bed, early to rise. Could I have a salad instead of the fries? The odds are against me, but what the hell? I'm gonna start standing up for myself. I'm gonna change, you wait and see. I'm gonna be the best I can be. I'll be much better than everybody, 'cause this time it's all about me. Holy guacamole, holy guacamole. I just got hit by a car, and you're the one who swept me off my feet, pushed me in the street, left me in a coma. Guacamole me, guacamole you. I just got busted for drugs, and you're the one who sold me to the Fed, leaving me for dead, played me for a fool. Making guacamole, mix it in the bowlie. I just got mauled by a bear, and you're the one who covered me with honey. Thought it was so funny, how could you be so cruel? Take it. That's good. Captain Guacamole, Officer Stromboli, I just got shot in the face, and you're the one who had the smoking gun. Love is just no fun whenever I'm with you. Guacamole coma, Yuma, Arizona. I just got hepatitis C. And you were standing there with a syringe. How it makes me cringe, breaks my heart in two. Holy guacamole, lumpy, green, and rolly. Baby, I wouldn't change a thing. 'Cause even though I'm down upon my luck, I don't give a fuck, long as I have you. I was roving on the bog on a misty mountain morning when a cheeky lad jumped up and shouted, "Ho, top of the morning! Row, ho, diddle-I-yay, in the musty mountain to my friend. Shave my belly with a rusty knife when I wake up in the morning. A bottle of rum and a fancy jig, and the road rise up to meet ye. Just put another shrimp on the barbie, friend, and I'll be there to greet ye. Row, ho, diddle-I-yay, fancy free on the bonny bog. Whack all day in the valley-o, and I go home in the morning. Row, ho, skilly-doo, a misty, musty morning, friend, skittering about with a drunken whore, and I go home in the morning. Rolling on down to the bonny green with a bottle of Tullamore, do ya? Gallivanting far and wide and shouting, top of the morning to ya. Row, ho, diddle-I-yay, whack the foal with a daddy-o, and a shin in a bucket with a drunken whore, and I go home in the morning. Row, ho, diddle-I-yay, misty mountain dew, my friend, shave my willy with a rusty knife, and I wake up in the morning.
Testing the mic 1, 2, check. Checking the test, testing the check. Test. Help. 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 Hi. Hi. Oh boy. Computer, what time is it?
The time is 11:59 a.m.
Brisket, look alive. We're starting. Whew. Hello. I don't know why this always does this, but we're going to work on it. Sorry, I'm just having a very small OCD moment here. There we go. Okay, and then this one now has got to be down there. Okay, hey everybody, and welcome to Henry's Kitchen, the live stream. where we make food and we chat. And today we are being sponsored by the lovely people over at Smithfield Prepared Pork Products. And we're going to be telling you a little bit about them. And we're also going to be making a dish. And we're going to be putting one of their delicious pork chops on top of our dish. And it's Father's Day. Hey, whoa, what the fuck? Hold on a second, everybody. We have here a situation coming down the pike here wherein Beelzebub, our very own Beelzebub, has gifted no fewer than 5 Tier 1 subs. Incredibly generous of Beelzebub to do that, in addition to all the other things that Beelzebub does for us here. And It's Cake X has gifted 5 Tier 1 subs, as well as Game Master Flash and Royal Flush 9. They're all gifting 5 Tier 1, and Lacey T just gifted 5 Tier 1 subs. It's going to happen in a second here. Hold on. There it is. Wow. You guys are absolutely incredible. I will say that the sponsor today, Smithfield Prepared Pork Products, is allowing for a half-price discount on all subs the whole time that we're... What the fuck? I Slap Cat Butts has just gifted 5 Tier 1 subs. That's absolutely incredible. Thank you very much, I Slap. And Pug Lady 2600 says, Legends, you're absolutely right. And your Scylla has subscribed for 46 months. And there's a message here from your Scylla. It says, hello, everyone. Brisket BB so cute. So this is Brisket here, who is a temporary situation here. I'll tell you a little bit more about Brisket in a second here. But Saguaro Oo has gifted 5 Tier 1 subs. That's absolutely incredible. Thank you, Saguaro Oo. And Ursula says, Happy Father's Day, Henry. Thanks for coming back for us after picking up milk and cigs. Love you, Dad. Thank you very much, Ursula. I am not a dad, but I did at the very last minute, I don't know if you noticed, I inserted Father's Day into the title of this stream because I had forgotten that it was Father's Day. And anytime you see Father's Day recipes, you know, the best Father's Day apple pie, usually it just means they forgot it was Father's Day and they decided to just stick Father's Day in there. Quanto says, happy birthday, Dad. No, I'm not your dad or anybody's dad, really, but I appreciate the happy birthday. It's not my birthday either, but it will be one day, and so I appreciate that. Goat Cheed says, Farters Day, more like, around these parts. Which parts? And Parasitosis says, Happy Father's Day to the dads. Yeah, okay. Happy Father's Day to the dads and anybody else who feels like they deserve being told to Happy Father's Day. A little bit about what's going on with Brisket. So Brisket went to a fair where they showcase all these dogs that have been rescued, and you get them all cleaned up and put a little ribbon in there and hope that somebody's going to come around and take the dog. Unfortunately, nobody picked Brisket. There were a lot of other dogs there being snatched up. A lot of these curly doodle type dogs with big smiles on their faces. But, and as much as I tried to, you know, pep Brisket up, nobody wanted her. And it was a little bit depressing, but, you know, we're going to go back out there again in a month and we're going to do the same thing and we're going to keep going. And it's all about, you know, it's like golf, you know. I totally suck at golf, but I still go out there the next time and try to do well. So fortunately, Brisket doesn't really understand what the whole situation was. Otherwise, she would probably be feeling really bad about herself. And I'm glad she doesn't, because she's a good person. You know, there's something called learned helplessness that I want to explain. And they did experiments, psychology experiments, where they'd have a dog in the same cage with a piece of meat, and they would have some sort of a shocking device. I hope it didn't hurt them, but when they would try to get the meat, the dog would be shocked, and eventually they got rid of the shocking device, and so you have this dog just sitting there with a piece of meat, and they wouldn't try to get it because they had learned how to be helpless. And that's kind of what happens to dogs too. I'm not saying that's happening now. Brisket actually likes being in this crate, but she can leave anytime she wants. She just doesn't. And I think a lot of us as human beings have learned helplessness, you know? We just say to ourselves, well, what's the point of going outside? I'm just going to make a fool out of myself, or I'm going to have an awkward interaction with somebody at the grocery store, or whatever. Somebody's going to say something that makes me feel bad or whatever. And we learn helplessness. And I don't know really what the moral of that story is. It's just something interesting to think about. You can learn about it. It's Kate X says, weirdly, whenever I shout help, people think I'm doing a sound test. Well, yeah, it could be either one. Now, the word help is a great word to use when you're doing a sound check because it includes all of the dynamic range that you test in a microphone. The H is the softest sound and the P is the hardest one. So it's very popular to see musicians just screaming help all the time. But don't worry, they're okay. Purple donut filling his fruit. Hey, bro, this is a cucumber. Yeah. So that was a situation, and I'll talk more about it. I was at the supermarket getting ingredients for my last recipe, and they had this giant bin filled with eggplants and zucchinis and cucumbers, and I needed a cucumber, but honestly, I couldn't tell the difference between any of these things. So at some point, and I couldn't find anybody, but there was a guy, like a stock person or whatever, about 15 feet away from me walking by. And I was in a hurry, and maybe I was being a little blunt, but I picked up what I thought was maybe a cucumber, and I just said, hey, bro, is this a cucumber? And the guy looked over, he's like, yeah. And then I saw him starting to laugh right after that. And then I saw him a little later talking to other employees there, and he was kind of miming that he was obviously retelling the story, and they were all laughing at me. And I felt really dumb. It is a weird thing, and I felt like it was kind of rude. I'm glad it was received as being funny to him. I mean, I don't mind if the joke is at my expense. Mimsy Coon says, hey, Henry, have you ever been to the pool rooms? No, you mean like billiards? I'm not totally sure what that is. Stephanie says, I hate going to the store and only buying a cucumber. Yeah, you should be buying other stuff too. Okay. So, Hammy X Hams. Sorry, I didn't call out Hammy X Hams for gifting us a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much for that, Hammy X Hams. Hey, today is being sponsored by Smithfield Pork Products. You've probably, if you are a meat eater, you've probably had their product. I have had their bacon, and but they have a new line of prepared pork products, and they are sponsoring today. So if you get a subscription, it's only half whatever the normal price is for a subscription, for a sub. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find their website, and we're going to go through the pitch, or not the pitch, but you know, the presentation. And don't make fun of me. It's always awkward. Well, you can make fun of me. Again, I don't mind people making fun of me at my own expense. But I have to find the situation here. Where do we go with this? Okay. Oh my goodness. This is so difficult. Oh, there it is. Okay. So here's their website, and oh, there's one other thing that I have to do here. Hold on a second. It's always a little bit of a situation with me with the technical stuff, but here we go. So let's talk a little bit about Smithfield and their prepared pork products. This is the website. You can see it up there, Smithfield. sfdbrands.com. Well, guys, the summertime is here. Whether you wanted the summertime to be here or not, it's here. And it's time for us to be prepared. And by prepared, I mean pork that's already been prepared for you. That means it's been marinated and seasoned by professional people. Look, we all are chefs. I like to think that everybody makes, good food in their own way. But let's be frank, you can't do it as well as professional people can. I've been trying for 15 years, and I've never been able to make it taste as good as what they do when you get professional food. And here they're saying flavor is easy. For me, at least, I'm a seasoned pro, literally. I'll do the hard work. You just take the delicious bite, take a look at everything I bring to the table. So let's take a look at some of the prepared pork products. So that means that you literally just take them and put them on the grill or in the oven or whatever, and they come out awesome. So, all right. And I'm going to be reading some of this verbatim. Whether you're hosting a backyard barbecue... Oh, sorry. This stream segment is sponsored by Smithfield. Whether you're hosting a backyard barbecue or casual family get-together, Smithfield marinated and seasoned fresh pork delivers bold, craveable flavor with minimal prep. These ready-to-cook products are freshly seasoned and marinated, making it easy to serve up versatile, protein-packed meals any night of the week. Featuring bold new flavors and cuts, garlic and herb, sweet and smoky barbecue, osso buco, chipotle, Caribbean jerk, carnitas, cilantro lime. Load more products. Mesquite barbecue and brown sugar barbecue alongside new cuts like pre-sliced ham strips, pork chops, and fillets. And one of the main things about these is that it's effortless. It's pre-marinated, ready to cook. You just heat and serve for bold, no-fuss flavor. You don't have to spend hours marinating it the night before or shaking it in some kind of bag or whatever we've done here on the show before. You literally just throw this thing because you're the king of the castle when it's your barbecue. So if your food tastes good, it makes you look good. And who doesn't want to look good and smell good? After this, you're going to smell like hickory barbecue. Just heat and serve versatile meals from burrito bowls to barbecue mac and cheese to pasta salads. Endless flavor options make mealtime easy. And it's protein packed. So, for example, a satisfying high protein option with 19 G's per serving to keep you full and fueled. 19 grams, that is. Pick up Smithfield marinated and seasoned fresh pork at Walmart for an easy, flavorful weeknight meal. And I think that they're available actually in a lot of different places. So you can actually go to this website and see some of the other places that you can get it. But as the summer's coming around, I think this is a great idea if you want to really, if you're just sort of not somebody who likes to do a lot of work but wants to have some barbecue. You could be at a barbecue with a bunch of your friends, or you could just be, for example, I don't know, just at home and just throw it in the oven, or do what we do and what we did yesterday, where you literally just throw it on the grill, on your grill pan at home, and then you can watch Jeopardy or any of the variety of amazing shows that are out right now. Chipotle St. Louis spare ribs for our Midwestern friends out there. Kansas City barbecue St. Louis style. So there's a lot of really cool stuff, and I hope you'll consider checking them out, checking out their website. It's very nice that they're sponsoring Henry's Kitchen, and that's basically the situation there. So thanks everybody for bearing with me on that, and let's get back to our situation. And I know you have comments. I'll be reading those right now. Hold on a second. Beanie Bobini, who is our intern, has said here, what do you think of Ken Jennings as the Jeopardy host, Henry? I think he's fantastic. I've always liked Ken Jennings. I actually saw him win in real time. I thought it was incredible, the intelligence or whatever you call that ability to just know trivia like that. It was really great. And since him, there have been others, but he's a perfect host. He and Trebek were buddies, and I actually even listened to the audiobook about Alex Trebek, and it was pretty great. Brett Bain says, I once dated a girl who was protein packed. Okay. Thanks, Brett Bain. I always shout out Brett Bain. I follow him on Instagram and TikTok, and he always cracks me up. BRETT, all one word, BAYNE, Brett Bain. Once dated a girl who was protein packed. I'm not sure if I ever have. Kalamazoo Dog says +2 for Ken Jennings. Yeah. Slorp says, I love Ken Jennings. A lot of Ken Jennings love happening here. Fitchin' Hat said he had a pretty good run. Who are you talking about? Ken Jennings? He's still on there. He's still the host. Roach Swallower says, I think he's so good at hosting the show. He's incredible at the game. Yeah, he sure is. Okay, so we've got music that we're going to be doing here in a little bit, but first let's get caught up on our alerts here. Wow, amazing. Again, the subs are half price as long as these streams are being sponsored. You should see that on there. Capacious T just resubscribed for 7 months. Amazing. Thank you, Capacious T, and thanks for all your great stuff, great artwork and everything that you submit. Lady Dina has cheered 10 bits. Thank you, Lady Dina 17. And Mentally Eel 247 says, Henry, I love pork products, and thank you for brightening my day. I hope brisket finds a forever home. Yeah, I do. It was very sad that there was even a situation that was just awful where a little girl came over and said, oh my God, I love him. And the mom came over and she said, Mommy, can we get brisket? And the mom said, no, that's an ugly dog, honey. And then they walked away. And I just thought it was awful. Yeah, can you imagine? All right, okay. I made that story up. The reason I made that story up is I'm getting in the habit of trying to use people's emotions to get them to adopt brisket, and it's not right that I made up that story. But admit that you were at least a little bit relieved to know that that horrible thing never happened, and that horrible fictional person that I just made up doesn't exist. Guitar Joe says, you're saying that the users aren't scrambling to try to adopt brisket? We might come to that, yeah. Islapy Cat Butts says, Henry, could you ship brisket to Maryland? You'd have to change your name to Dogs, I guess. Calicus says, I'm in tears. No, it wasn't a real story, Calicus, I promise. Dandra Leon says, I hope that fictional person is dead now. Fictionally dead. Corinne Pinion says, we're all scrambling eggs, but I don't know about that scrambling. Yes. Okay, everybody, we're getting off a little bit. Let me get back on track. Thank you very much, by the way, there's this Pug Lady sent us this cool picture. Pug Lady sent us a great picture here behind me. This is the American Southwest, presumably. Look at this. Maui Girl sent a picture of a rescue cat named Sensei. Apparently, Maui Girl went to one of these rescue fairs and saw this cat named Sensei. I love when cats are not photogenic in a funny way, or they're funny. I like funny cats. Sensei Doug says Dark Ages. Sensei, is that a line from the Karate Kid? Hammy X Hams says, "Hey Henry, yesterday was my birthday. I don't suppose you would do the honor." Oh, absolutely. Let's do it. Game Master Flash says, "Pull tab, get number." Oh yeah, yeah. It does look like one of those ticket dispensers. I love Sensei. Thanks very much to Maui Girl for sending us this cool picture. I'm gonna go ahead now and do a song for Hammy X Hams. Let's pull up a picture that looks a little bit more like a birthday background here. Why don't we use, for no reason at all, let's use Game Master Flash's awesome picture here. This is from, hey, Game Master Flash, what city was this? I know it was in Japan, and it was on the user-sanctioned trip that everybody took. Yokohama. Beelzebub and Parasitosis and Game Master Flash took a trip to Japan and went to so many cool places and got so many pictures. I'm very jealous. It just looks like you guys had a blast, but I'm also happy for you at the same time. So we're going to use this, not that it's related, but we're going to use this as a background for Hammy X Ham's birthday. This is the song Nobody's Birthday by Jose Suicidio. It's nobody's birthday, no need for candles on the cake. It's nobody's birthday, it was just some dumb mistake. It's nobody's birthday, no need to make candied yams, 'cause it's nobody's birthday but Hammy X Hams. That was one of the better improvised rhyme situations that I've had. Usually they're terrible. But Hammy X Ham says, "For once my tears are tears of joy." Well, I'm really happy to hear that. Beanie Bo Beanie says, "Happy birth, Dat." I wasn't even familiar with that phrase, but I like it. The Balderdash Lad says, "Lovely." And Nancy Drudel says, "Happy birthday, Hammy." Ghostina Gutter says, "Beautiful." Awesome, everybody. Happy birthday, Hammy X Hams. And let's see what else we've got to scroll through here. We've got some songs that we're going to do. Wow, Royal Flush 9 sends us this picture. This is quite awesome. Is this some kind of, is this a video game? Caitlin's Kitchen says, "What a view." Is that, for some reason I heard that as one of those pranks that people pull on me. What a view. Not much. What a view also. But that doesn't make sense. Royal Flush 9 says, "Yeah, it's called Over the Hill." Very fun. Well, that looks like a fun one. We are going to be starting to play more games. I just need to do a little bit of research, but we're starting to home in on a couple of games that we're going to be playing. Later today, I was thinking we'd play a little bit of Beelzebub's game that Beelzebub made called The Bowly, which I think would be really fun. We played it on the anniversary stream. Anonymous. We all know Anonymous. This is the group that does all the digital hacking and whatnot. Has gifted a tier 1 sub to Everyone Type Forsen. Thank you so much, Anonymous, and good to see Everyone Type Forsen having a sub on here. And just good times all around. Everyone Type Forsen typed Forsen. And yeah, we're talking about Backrooms. I tried to play a little bit of Backrooms, and I'll be honest with you, I just kept dying within a minute, and I have a little bit to figure out. but then we're going to get together with the users and play it. Mystic Sorcha says, ooh, we got a first timer. Are you talking about Backrooms? I can't believe these kids that are making these movies now. Obsession, Backrooms, it's like a 20-year-old and a 25-year-old respectively. I mean, I can't even tell you what I was doing when I was 20 years old. It's ridiculous. And good on them. Pancake King says, hey, Flash, about to chill with youngest daughter. Hope everyone is doing great. Sorry I haven't been around much. Hey, Pancake King, thanks for checking in. Thanks for, and happy Father's Day to you. And happy Father's Day. And I hope you and your daughter have a great one. That's very cool. Dark Ages said Patton Oswalt had something great to say about that. Nirvana, the band, the movie. Oh yeah, they're all relatively young, decades of movies ahead. Yeah, no, we're gonna have some incredible content coming up. But don't forget that they're standing on the shoulders of giants. You know? The Balder Dash Lad says, can we get a 10-year-old to make the best horror movie ever? You know, it's gonna happen. I have a feeling it's going to happen really too. And everyone type Forson says that George Lucas is such a young chap too. You're absolutely right, you know, but I'd say in his case, he's young at heart. Inside, he's just a little kid. And, but outside, he's pretty old. I'd say he's very old. Computer, how old is George Lucas?
George Lucas is 82 years old.
Yeah,
By the way, you have a new notification. Do you want to hear it?
No. It's probably something about how we're having record heat here, and I don't want to hear it. XXX Bread has subscribed at the Prime level. Thank you very much, XXX Bread. That's very kind of you. Oh, but I do want to set a timer for me to do my next situation. Computer, set timer for 51 minutes.
51 minutes, starting now.
Okay. So, let's go ahead and do our song. I love this background. It's so cool. We're going to be doing a song from the new album by Jose Suicidio, which is called There's Something Wrong With Me. Guitar Joe says, my kids seem to have forgotten about Father's Day this year. Oh, that's sad. But there's still 2.5 hours left in the day. Maybe they're planning a big surprise. Oh boy, I sure hope so. I hope in this last 2.5 hours at some point somebody comes in and says, happy birthday, Dad. But it could end in abject horror and depression, which is usually the way these types of things end. Hammy Exham says there needs to be a music video for Uber. Yeah, I agree, and I've already even got the ideas for it. Let's pick a background here. Let's pick something kind of dark. Here, we'll use Phaedrus's picture here. Phaedrus gets these awesome pictures from the American southwestern portion of the Americas, of the United States anyway. This is great. It looks like I have a rainbow stream just going right through my head. And I like that. Let's keep it that way. Parasitosis says, this was the first year my kids' school actually had them make shit for Father's Day before the school year was over. Yeah. If they weren't going to do it on their own volition, it's nice to know that at least the school is indoctrinating them to like you. Dark Ages says, I don't have any kids, but I'm plenty old enough to have them, so it's always awkward when people wish me a happy Father's Day. Yeah, me too. It's like, well, I'm not a father, and my father is gone, so you just created a very weird situation. Butt Smasher Masher says, hi, Henry. Hey, right back to you, Butt Smasher Masher. Thanks for joining us today. And, okay. Let's go ahead and do this song. This is a song called Uber. I had the lyrics on this website, but now it's gone. What's going on with that? Oh, it just disappeared. Okay, here it is. Now this is kind of a little bit of an 80s sort of a groover, sort of a yacht rock type situation. So I'm going to try to do it as a ballad, but also try to capture a little bit of that genre. She says she wants to Uber home now, 'cause you're not that type of guy. And she's got better things to do than to just hang around with you. She's got better ways she'd rather spend her time. She just wants to Uber home. She says it's not that you're not handsome, you're just not her cup of tea. But she still wants to be your friend, 'cause if she meets her Mr. Right, then maybe you could help them move her stuff when she moves in with him. But she just wants to Uber home. Girl, I know that it's all over now, but it's 8 p.m. on Friday night. The Uber rates are surging high. Oh girl, I know that it's all over. Oh wait. I promise I won't cry again, but I'd really like if we could wait until the price goes down. She says she wants to Uber home now, and it's not negotiable. And so open up that stupid app, get her address and all that crap, and just admit that it was never meant to be. This is really my favorite part, 'cause right now she just wants to Uber home. Carino Opinion says, I love that crap lyric. That crap lyric? You know, a lot of the lyrics on the album could be described that way. But, oh yeah. Open up that stupid app, get her address and all that crap. You know, Jose Suicidio and I spent hours in the studio trying to think of something that would rhyme with app. And it's very difficult because app is a new word sort of to a couple of old guys like us. And we put on several pots of coffee and went into the wee hours. And then at one point, I spilled some coffee and I said, oh, crap. And Jose was like, what'd you just say? And I said, ah, crap. And that's how it came. That's how the lyric got into the song. It's Kate X. You're absolutely right. It was a you and your fucking coffee moment. And it didn't occur to me that I could have just asked the computer. Computer, what are some words that rhyme with app?
From funtrivia.com. It rhymes with a lot of words, such as cello, hello, and jello.
No. I'm sorry, everybody. What is going on? That's just terrible. See, that's the thing. We weren't able to rely on computers. Cash C418 says, dang clanker. Sociopathogen says, computer sucks at this. Yeah, come on. Cello doesn't rhyme with app, nor does yellow. They rhyme with each other. Parasitosa says, reminds me of how the lyrics for Chop Suey by System of a Down was done. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that song, but I'm going to have to listen to it. Dank Sauce says, good to see AI keeps getting better and better. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that was terrible. All right, everybody, let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see what's happening. Oh, let's check in with our alerts here. Thanks again, XXX Bread. We'd love to try some of your XXX bread sometime. Freakomatic says, hi, Henry. Could you maybe play your own song Talking again sometime? Yeah, I could do that. How would I do that? I'll try to figure it out for next time. Thanks for the request, Freakomatic. And I should be able to do that. Thanks again to Phaedrus for giving us a very cool background for this. Look at this. It's Kate gave me this incredible thing. I had no idea that the show Wheel of Fortune, which comes on right after Jeopardy, actually had Henry's Kitchen as one of the clues. It says here, Cooking Explainer. That's me. And it says Henry's Kitchen. That's really, really incredible. And that's Vanna White. Isn't that Vanna White? Computer, who is the lady on Wheel of Fortune that spins the letters?
From popculture.com. Wheel of Fortune letter turner Vanna White is a legendary pop cultural icon.
Okay.
Who has been gracing
Computer,
television
stop.
screens for decades. And
Hey!
she continues to shine every
Stop! Ugh, always talks too much there. Yeah, Vanna White. That was always my dream, is to have Vanna White turn over my letters. Purple Donut Filling His Fruit says, Vanna is still hot after all these years. Yeah, absolutely. It's incredible what tons of money can do. No, I'm just kidding. It's Kate X says, it's completely real. My contact who got us the Bono clips sorted it out. Oh, wow, that's cool. Oh, and Ladies Laid says, do Mr. Postman. That's so good. Okay, well, thank you, Ladies Laid. Yeah, that's a good request, too. I like that people are requesting. Those are songs that I wrote a long time ago, and I'm glad that people still like them. Yeah, Guitar Joe, she still is doing the show, believe it or not. Corinne Opinion says, would you ever get plastic surgery if you had the money? I personally would not, and but I don't shame people who do it. I just think that you better make sure it looks better. I think it's probably more cool to look like you're aging healthfully, if you can, than to try to fight it and make yourself look, because it can look kind of unnatural. But you know, people are people. Everybody can do whatever makes them feel better, is what I say. Okay, let's go ahead and try another thing here. 4%. Like, for example, I think you can see some of these streams from about 6 months ago. I had a couple of big marks on my face, and I think they were from the sun. And they were just able to freeze them off as part of my routine doctor's appointment with the dermatologist. So that's pretty cool. Van Honkerton says, hi, Henry, you're looking like your age. Thank you very much. That's all we can do. I mean, we can look younger, I guess. But a lot of people don't know I'm 67 years old. I think I'm doing pretty damn well. Guitar Joe says, Henry, I took your advice from a while ago and watched all the DVDs in reverse chronological order. As an unrelated comment, you're looking very youthful lately. Oh, wow. So you watched it in reverse chronological. So you started with the latest ones. Yeah, I'll bet you were seeing sort of a... with YouTube now, we're able to do sort of one of these... what is it, Dorian Gray type situations or whatever, where we get younger. Okay. Everyone type Forson says, mods, add 67 emote. Mystic Sorcha says 67 my ass. Corinne Opinion says, Henry, you said the numbers. No, I was saying I'm 67 years old. That's all I was saying. Aloe says it's from watching those documentaries on meth. Yeah, which is the best way to document. Tech Shabby says Henry's 67th president. It's a long time from now. Okay, everybody, we're getting off. Let's get back on track here. This is, yeah, let's talk about this picture here from 4%. This is still 4% on Discord. This was a giant inflatable duck, and when 4% ran down to the downtown county fair or whatever they were doing to take a look at it, it looks like it had exploded or maybe deflated or whatever, or just was having a bad day and didn't feel like doing what it was supposed to do that day. And we've all had that. So thank you very much, 4%, for capturing this kind of pathetic moment, but it's real, and that's what's important. You captured something real. Fondue Yourself says, same, Duck. Yes, exactly. All right, let's go through a couple more of these and let's see what's going to happen here. Wow, Noided Terra sends us this beautiful pic. I'm not sure where it is, but maybe we'll use this as our background. Is that Pebble Beach or something? Where is this? Could be so many places. It could be La Jolla. The water looks a little turquoise-ish. Is Noided Terra here? We're going to definitely use this as our background. It has nothing to do with the song, but I think it's a good idea to do. I'm going to do this song that I wrote many years ago, but I think its message still is just as important as it was at the time that I wrote it. You can see me doing it on my latest comedy special on YouTube called Neither Here Nor There, which you can just go to YouTube and watch it for free. And it's been a lot of fun that I made it 10 years ago, but we finally found a home for it on Blonde Medicine YouTube channel, and you can watch it over and over again if you want. Beanie Bobini says, what sea creature is the scariest? What's the one that killed the crocodile hunter? Because that's probably the one. You hear about shark attacks a lot, but I don't know that any. Correct me if I'm wrong, but have any sharks attacked a celebrity, like a well-loved celebrity, a beloved? Because everybody loved the crocodile hunter. So yeah, the stingray, that's probably the worst. Computer, has a celebrity ever died at the hands of a shark?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever happened. Corinne Opinion says that fish with the light bulb sticking in front of their forehead is scary too. Whoa, I've never heard of that. So somebody stuck a light bulb on a fish. I'll bet he's angry. Anglerfish says Angry Poo Poo 1. Thank you, Angry Poo Poo 1. And Beanie Bobini says that mechanical sea bass that sings Don't Worry, Be Happy. Yeah, there's a lot of scary ones here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this song that was on my special, and it's a little aged. Maybe a lot of the stuff that used to be in the snail mail is now happening through internet and notifications on your phone and whatnot, but I think the sentiment is still there. It's called Letter in the Mail. I just got a letter in the mail saying that I failed to pay my credit card in time, and that's a $40 fine, which would have been okay, except for that it caused me to exceed my credit line, and that's another $40 fine. Then I got another piece of mail
This one said the balance due was drawn from my checking account, which caused a bunch of checks to bounce, which would have been okay, except the fact that one of those checks was to the DMV for my registration fee. So the next day I was on my way to work, and I couldn't find my car. It wasn't where I parked it just the day before, and then I got another piece of mail. This one said the registration tags were out of date, so they had to tow my car away, which wasn't quite okay. I called them to explain, and when I finally got through, they just made me wait on hold. After 40 minutes I hung up because I had to go to work. But then I realized if I don't have a car, then how the fuck am I gonna get to work? So I got fired from my job. So here I am living in a box underneath a bridge in this quiet little town, and I take a look around. Things are quite okay. I don't get any bills, and the best part of it is that I can't get any mail.
That was a very real time in my life that seems to keep recurring. You just get in these situations, and I think I could update that song. As a matter of fact, I have a question for you guys. Didn't somebody say on here that there's a app you can get? Is it on your phone or something? I don't know how it could work. Thanks, everybody. That's very nice of you. Thanks, Pug Lady and Corinne Pinion and Guitar Joe and everybody. I really appreciate it. Tech Shabby says, back in the day, I used the wrong checkbook to pay all my bills. Cha-ching, yeah. That sounds like it must have started a paperwork nightmare. Didn't somebody say that there was a way that you could check the sensor code on your car when you get the little yellow engine light? And there's a way to do it for free now, because it happened on my car, and I took it to the dealership, and they said it costs $280 just to do that, which to me sounded exorbitant. Laffy Taffy Girl, and so I didn't do it. I was just like, nah. Laffy Taffy Girl says, I love your YouTube cooking channel. Thanks, Laffy Taffy Girl. That's nice of you. Thanks for joining us here. Angry Poo Poo 1 says, yeah, you can buy one of those readers on Amazon. So wait, how does it read it? Isn't it something that you have to... Is it like... Parasitosa says, yeah, you can get a thing to check, but depends on the year and model of the car. Okay. Does it go by a QR code or something? I don't know how the interface would work. Yeah. Orangu Bang Sucks says, don't go to the dealership. I didn't want to, and I won't again, but the other problem is my first mechanic told me what it was for free. He said it was a purge valve, but he said that part's very expensive, and he said in this case the dealership can buy them for bulk price, so you might want to just try them and see. And that's what happened when I tried them, and they wouldn't even let me tell them what the problem was that I already figured out. They said, nah, we start from scratch. It was just awful. Oh, Capacious T says, then you Google the code. Parasitosis says it has a special port, and where it is depends on the car. Okay. Ditchin' Hat says AutoZone does it for free. And I don't want to complain about this too much, but I then had to take it anyway. Even though I knew what it was, I had to take it to the dealer, and they still wouldn't take my word for it. They said they do it. You know, it's pretty bad. Laffy Taffy Girl, thank you so much for smashing that Prime button. That's very, very cool of you to become a Henry's Kitchen subscriber via Prime. Thanks, Laffy Taffy Girl. And Angry Poo Poo 1 says the brand is Ansel AD310. It worked great on my 2013 Hyundai. Okay, thanks everybody. All right. We're going to go through a couple other pictures here. I want to thank Noided Terra for sending this beautiful picture behind me. And we've got, oh yeah, Maui Girl sends us this picture. This is an interesting one. It says, Buddha Maitreya the Christ Solar Ascension Meditation Pyramid System. Is this an ad? Was this in Amazon or something like that? $3,000. Wow. Is it a bed? It looks like a bed to me. Maui Girl says, I didn't buy it. Yeah, no, I don't know if I would buy it either, but I appreciate you sharing it just in case some of our users out there want to try it. Maui Girl 45 says Facebook Marketplace. Oh, okay. All right, everybody. Well, I hate to say it, but it looks like it's that time. It's time for us to do the thing that we hate so much. Hey, Mystic Sorcha, thank you very much for subscribing, and I'm glad you joined today. If you want to see a picture, well, here, let's go into the kitchen. So thanks, everybody, for submitting your pictures and allowing me to indulge myself with doing some of my own songs there. And Guitar Joe says, what was that, Guitar Joe? You said, where did it go now? There was a comment here from Guitar Joe. Oh, yeah. PVC aligned my chakras, I can vouch. Oh, okay. So this was in response. Let's go ahead and enter the kitchen. I have a pulled muscle, apparently. I've had a lot of problems since I started golfing 2 years ago. Herniated disc, pulled muscle, torn rotator cuff, blisters, weird calluses, but you know what? I keep going back out there to try to fight the bully, because you don't run from a bully, and in this case, the bully is golf. Parasitosis says, do motels still have those things that shake your bed and give you a massage? Oh man, I don't know if I've ever had that, but I think that would scare the hell out of me after seeing The Exorcist. Hopefully they tell you when it's about to do that. You're right, Roach Swallower. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. If you would have told me 10 years ago that I would get into golfing, I'd be like, you're out of your fucking mind. But the reality is, it gets me out of the house and into the sun, and I kind of enjoy it. And I played with some of the users, Beelzebub, Lisi, Game Master Flash, Dark Aegis, and Midnight Faded. And let me know if there's anybody I'm missing there. We all played at Top Golf in Naperville last time we all hung out, and that was a good time. Roach Swaller, I hope you're wearing sunscreen. Yeah, I started finally having to put sunscreen on there. Everyone Type Forsen says, sometimes when I struggle to get up in the morning and trail off to work, I remember how hard our favorite streamers like Henry have it. So soldier on for Henry. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is very difficult. But actually, golf is something that you can do even if, if you can do it on the weekends or whatever, unless you're literally working 20 hours a day. Eclipse Producer says, when you speak with the reverb on, it sounds more impactful. Beanie Bobini says, are the reverbicin on the golf course? What do you mean? What's everybody talking about here with the reverbicin? Let's see here. You're talking about the reverb. Okay, yeah, got it. Okay. Let's see here. Let me see if I can fix that. Testing 1, 2, 3. Check. Hey, I want to thank Sergeant White Pepper for saying yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Sergeant White Pepper. Very kind of you. Ladies Laid says, oh my God, if I worked at a hotel, would definitely start up the bed if possible to scare the shit out of people. Yeah, no, that would definitely be a pretty fun thing. So Quanto says, Henry, did you turn on the discounted subs for the stream? My understanding is that they are automatically half price as long as the stream is toggled into the sponsor thing. Oh yeah, it is 200. Let's see. Myself and the other mods think it might have been a limited number. It was there at the start of the stream. Yeah, there is a limitation on that, but I don't know if there's a way to tell. They were 50% at the start and now they're not. Uh-oh. Okay, well, I'll look into it, but I don't want anybody to pay the full price if you can avoid it because I don't know. Just we'll hold off and we'll figure it all out. Joey B12399 says, hi Henry, hi chat. Eclipse Producer says inflation is real. Okay, well, we're going to get to the bottom of the discounted subs because I don't want to be confused on that. I can always talk to the people. Fondue Yourself says, Twitch saw you were cool and cut you off. Oh, boy. All right, everybody, we're going to start cooking here. I want to show you what we're cooking. That's what we're cooking today. And you might say, what is that? Like, literally, what the fuck is that? And the answer is, I'm not really sure because the background part is out of focus and the front part looks like it could be anything between a ravioli and maybe a part of some kind of omelet or something like that. But I'll tell you, Corinne Opinion says, seriously, what the hell? Roach Swallower says, fried ravioli. Looks like good eats. Yep. What this is, and I'll tell you, is, wait, hold on. Yeah, so there is some kind of a situation happening with the sponsored stream, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm not sure why it would be though. Ugh, very frustrating. It's saying that there's another thing happening. I don't know. Sorry, everybody. I'm very confused, but it's really a little bit annoying. But we're going to get it all figured out. All right. The one thing that we came here to do is to cook, so we're going to have to do that. Oh, here it is. Now it's letting me do it, and I'm not sure why it wasn't letting me do it earlier. Very weird. Okay. So the subscriptions should be back on now at this point. So everybody take a look at that. Guitar Joe says, crap, I feel like we haven't heard very much about the pork sponsor today. Can't even remember the brand name. It's Smithfield, and we're going to do another ad for it. But everybody just hang on a second. My mind's starting to get overblown with stuff. Okay, discount is back up. They're back to 50% off. We have no idea what happened. It said that for a moment in time, there was another promotion going, so it had to stop. And I don't know what that would have been. But we have promotions going crazy here. Okay, last time, Tech Shabby says, last time on Twitch TV website, it said Smithfield is donating 100 discounts. Yeah. And it is. Okay, what do we got here? Eclipse Producer just gifted 5 tier 1 subs. Absolutely incredible. Thank you, Eclipse Producer. Coupine 2003 says it's a squeg. Thank you very much, Coupine. What's a squeg? Computer, what's a squeg?
In geometry, a square is a regular quadrilateral, which means that it has 4 equal sides and 4 equal angles.
I know what a
It can also be
square
defined
is.
as a rectangle in which 2 adjacent sides have equal length. A square with vertices ABCD would be denoted ABCD.
That's not even close to what I asked for. So, Sergeant White Pepper, thank you very much. Is that a reference to Ween? I know I always ask that, but it's a great album by the band Ween. Thank you very much for subscribing, and Mystic Sorcha, and I think that brings us up to date. Okay. Corinne Pinion says, my brains is hurting. Sergeant White Pepper says, yes, it is indeed. Okay, well, that's awesome to hear. Okay, everybody. Let's see here. So here's what we're making, and where were we? Oh yeah, so we were trying to figure out what this is, and I'm going to tell you. It's called Sweet Potato Gratin with Gruyere Au Gratin. Hold on. Dendra just gifted 5 tier 1 subs. Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, Dendra. That's very kind of you to gift 5 tier 1 subs. And again, the tier 1 subs, if everything's working correctly, should be half priced. Okay. Beanie Bo Beanie gifted Roach Swallower sub. Thank you very much, Beanie Bo Beanie. That's very kind of you. Beanie Bo Beanie, of course, is our intern here. But let's talk a little bit about this dish. Sweet potato gratin with Gruyere Au Gratin. Okay? So what is au gratin? Is probably the first thing you're going to ask me. And the answer is, I really don't know. This is from a website that's called The Lonely Fist, but P-F-I-S-T. And it is, it says here, as you all know, I'm not much of a vegetable person. It's not me, it's the person who wrote this. I make veggie lovers cringe and shake their heads in embarrassment. I do, however, love sweet potatoes. Baked sweet potatoes, roasted sweet potatoes, pretty much however you want to prepare them. I'll eat sweet potatoes, unless, of course, you make one of those overly sweet, candied sweet potato casseroles with marshmallows on top. Wait, what are we doing? There's no point in reading all this stuff. So, computer, what does au gratin mean?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Computer, what does gratin mean?
Gratin is usually defined as au gratin, cooked or baked with a topping of either brown bread crumbs and butter or grated cheese, or with both.
Yeah, I like when I ask what au gratin means, and she says, I don't know what that is. And I say, well, then what's gratin? And then she says, oh, it's au gratin. All right. Corinne Pinion says, Henry, your chest has a giant hole in it going into another dimension. Really? Oh, weird. You're absolutely right. That is very strange. I guess I'm just slightly transparent or something. Let's check in on brisket. All right, everybody. Let's go ahead and get to work here. I'll show you the ingredients that I have. We have salt and pepper, and these are, Game Master Flash gifted us these beautiful, absolutely adorable salt and pepper shakers. So these are salt and pepper shakers from Salt and Pepper. Okay, so there's a group, a rap group called Salt and Pepper, and they had some big songs, and this is sort of a tribute to them, I guess. And we also have our cheese. This is going to be a triple cheddar cheese. Now we're supposed to be getting Gruyere. I got the wrong kind of cheese, so I'm hoping. Computer, is it easy for me to swap out my Gruyere with my cheddar?
You can easily swap Gruyere with cheddar in most recipes, as both are cheeses, but the flavor and texture will change.
No
cheddar
problem.
Cheddar is sharper and milder than Gruyere,
all right.
So adjust seasoning as needed. Always taste
computer,
as you go for the...
stop. Okay, and we also have our fresh organic thyme. So that's something that's kind of fun. Guitar Joe says, fun fact, Slovakia imports most of its sweet potatoes from America. The one I bought today could be from the same field as Henry's. Yeah. And that's actually brings us to the star of our show. This apparently is a sweet potato. Looks kind of weird, but this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Hey, bro, is this a sweet potato? You have to do this kind of thing because they have these bins and they don't tell you what the vegetable is. And you see something that's like, I don't know, this could be so many different things. Like, for example, is this a sweet potato? Because these things are different colors, they're different shapes, they look totally different. That one's got a bunch of weird stuff on it. But Titchin Hat says, is it a yam? Computer, what's the difference between a yam and a sweet potato?
Though sweet potatoes and yams are commonly confused, their appearances and tastes differ. Sweet potatoes have beige or orange flesh, while yams are typically white-fleshed. Sweet potatoes taste moist and sweet, while yams are starchy and dry.
Okay, so yeah, they're very similar, but apparently they're not exactly the same thing. Corinne Upinion says, is it a yum yum? It will be. It will be for sure. I am Wilby says, was it the same bro you asked about the cucumber? Yeah, well, in this case, I didn't ask because I learned my lesson. They don't like to be yelled at and have you ask them what various vegetables are. Or is it a fruit? Computer, is a cucumber a fruit?
While seeded vegetables, like cucumbers, are considered vegetables for culinary use, they are botanically fruits.
Very interesting. Beanie Bobini says, I like how all pickles are cucumbers, but now all cucumbers are pickles. Wow. And Dark Ages says, never look a bro in the eye when you're asking them about vegetables. They will take it as a threat. Yeah, if you catch them in their natural habitat, especially if they're near their young, they might go into a fight or flight situation. Corinne Opinion says there's always some bullshit where it's both a fruit and a vegetable. Yeah, there's always something like that. Okay, everybody. It's time. It's time for us to get started here. So let's take a look at our first order of business. For example, what does it want us to do with this sweet potato? Sweet potato gratin with Gruyere. Okay. 1.5 cups of heavy cream. So I don't have heavy cream, but I do have this half and half. Okay. And then we also have 2 cloves of garlic and 2 pounds of sweet potato. That's not 2 pounds. Well, no, that might be about 2 pounds. And we need 1.5 teaspoons. Computer, how much time left on the timer?
You have 9 minutes and 40 seconds left on your 51-minute timer.
Okay, so we'll get that going. 1.5 teaspoons chopped fresh thyme, which we have here, and 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt, as well as the pepper and our shredded cheese. Okay, so we've got everything. We're ready to go. Preheat the oven to 400 degrees, so let's go ahead and do that now. Nothing wrong with doing that during a heat wave, but... Okay. And Vados says, Henry, can you play the Jim Croce classic Time in a Bottle? We've done that one before. I can't do it right now because we're cooking, but we will be doing that. Okay, so now in a small pot, which I have here, bring a cream and garlic just to a simmer. Bring a cream and garlic just to a simmer. Okay. How do they want the garlic? They want it minced. Computer, how do you mince a garlic? Hey, computer, how do you mince garlic? We lost computer now.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Corinne Opinion says, do you ever preheat the oven instead of turning on the AC to make your apartment better? I was doing that for a little while, but the fire department says it gives you something called carbon monoxide poisoning. But actually, the reason I was doing it is I just wanted to leave it on all the time. Wow, this looks a little not great. Computer, how can you tell if garlic is bad?
Some signs of garlic spoiling can include when it softens, sprouts, looks yellow and shriveled, and develops dark spots.
Yeah, this is bad. Did I just buy bad garlic? Ah. Computer, does mold grow on garlic?
Mold can grow on garlic if it's kept in damp, poorly ventilated conditions. Storing garlic in a dry, cool place helps prevent this. Always check for any signs of spoilage before use.
I literally just bought that garlic this morning. Corinne Opinion says throw it out. Yeah, I'm throwing it out, and I'm not even really that hungry, but we're gonna do it. That's really disappointing. I want to get my 69 cents or whatever it was. 67 cents, I think it was. We're throwing that away. Damn. All right, so we're probably not going to have garlic in our dish today. Plus, I have these fruit flies, man. Okay, so we're just going to heat the cream. We're not going to heat the garlic. Boy, that's really disappointing. Has that ever happened to anybody? Roach Swallower said, I bought a bag of chips from the store yesterday and didn't realize till I was home that the bag was ripped. Yeah, no, it's awful. You feel very violated. I feel violated right now by that garlic. And if you've ever been violated by your garlic, it is not a good feeling. Dank Sauce says, I use jarlic. Yeah, I've heard about jarlic. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to start using that. But it just feels weird to be giving up on garlic. Corinne Opinion says, hasn't happened to me, but it has happened with other vegetables. So it's happened to other vegetables. The Chunks says, I've seen garlic get old and sprout, but never straight up rotten. Yeah, that was rotten. Okay, so we're going to skip that garlic step. In a small pot, bring the cream to a simmer. So let's do that. And let's see how much of this cream that it wants. 1.5 cups. How many does this make? 12 servings. No, we don't need 12 servings. I'm going to cut everything in half. We're going to make 6 servings of this, which still is probably, no, we're going to divide everything by, let's divide everything by 4. So we'll make 3 servings of this. Okay. So computer, what's 1.5 cups divided by 4?
1.5 cups divided by 4 is 6 tablespoons.
6 tablespoons cream coming right up. Here we go. Boy, I hope this cream's okay. Oh, what am I doing? It was already open a little bit. I was trying to shake it. It doesn't even say you have to shake it. I don't want to damage my infrared stove that I've got here. Okay, how many tablespoons was it going to be? Computer, what is 1/4 of 1.5 cups?
1/4 of 1.5 is 0.375.
So 0.375 tablespoons. That's not what it said. Pop-Tart Eater 47 says, go, Henry. Roach Swallower says, 6 tablespoons, I think. Yeah, but don't forget the famous quote, I think, therefore I am. That's not a relevant quote there. Computer, what's 1.5 cups divided by 4?
1.5 cups divided by 4 is 6 tablespoons.
Okay, you were absolutely right. Four-wheelers, you were absolutely correct, and I apologize for doubting you. Trench Fuel says, smart, Henry. Yeah. Okay. Wait, now, I keep talking and forgetting how much it is. How much was it? It's whatever four-wheelers said. Yeah, 6 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, you'd think they would do it in cups. Wait, what am I on now? Computer, Sociopathogen says 5.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Whatever. If there's a little bit of a different amount, that's going to be okay. Okay, so let's, it says it wants to put this on a simmer. It's supposed to be with the garlic, but we're not doing that. Small pot, bring cream and garlic just to a simmer. So that's probably going to take a little while. Just spilling cream all over the place here today. Let's leave that for a second. Set aside butter. Butter a 9 times 13-inch. What the fuck? Parasitosis just gifted 5 tier 1 subs. That's incredible. Thank you so much, Parasitosis. That's very, very kind of you. I really appreciate you gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Shardy Fardum Official says powerful. Thank you very much, Shardy Fardum Official. And Dendra Leon says 9 by 13. That's going to be a lot of pans. Yeah, I don't understand. Hey, Anonymous has gifted a tier 1 sub to Hey Bro, Nice Cook. Thank you very much, Anonymous, for gifting that tier 1 sub to Hey Bro, Nice Computer. Stop. Cook. Oh, cock. Okay, sorry. And also, Beanie Bo Beanie says Roach Swallower has gifted a tier 1 sub to Roach Swallower. They've given, okay, so Beanie Bo Beanie is our intern. Thank you so much for your generosity. And thank you so much for gifting that tier 1 sub to Roach Swallower. Okay, so the alarm just went off. We're going to take a little break. Beelzebub just gifted 10 tier 1 subs. Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, Beelzebub. Not just for this, but for all that you do. And that's absolutely incredible. We're doing really well, by the way, with these subscribers. We're at 487 subscribers. That's so many more than we used to have. So I'm very thankful to you for that. And I know I'm struggling a little bit. I'm a little clumsy sometimes, but I appreciate everybody bearing with me on this. Cooking is hard. If cooking were easy, it wouldn't be called cooking. They'd call it something else. Easy fun time, or what, something like that. But this is not. A lot of times we have this misconception that cooking is something easy you do with your 3 generations of, grandma, daughter, and granddaughter all just sitting there making lasagna or something like that. That's only in the movies. This is a job that is very, very difficult to do, and I'm going to prove it right now. Okay, so it is time to do an ad. We are being sponsored by Smithfield Pork Products, and if you'll just bear with me, we're going to go to their website. And also, while we are being sponsored, the subs are exactly 50% off. And thanks, Quanto, for letting me know that it was off for a second, and I don't know what it was, some kind of a mishap. But we're good. We're good. Let me do this. Oh, we've got some simmering happening, which is good. Going to their website right now. This is Smithfield line of prepared pork products. So these are products that they come packaged and you literally just throw them on the grill or in the oven or however you want to heat them, and they come out delicious. So I'm gonna, if you'll bear with me for a second, I'm going to start the streamer presentation here, which is always just a little bit of a thing. Okay, so the summertime's here. Oh yeah, by the way, this stream segment is sponsored by Smithfield. The summertime's here, guys, and it's time for us to get that, that's my oven preheated, get that barbecue started. Whether you're hosting a backyard barbecue or a casual family get-together, Smithfield marinated and seasoned fresh pork delivers bold, craveable flavor with minimal prep. These ready-to-cook products are freshly seasoned, marinated, making it easy to serve up versatile, protein-packed meals any night of the week. Featuring bold new flavors and cuts, and I'm just going to go through some of these. Garlic and herb, sweet and smoky barbecue, osso buco, chipotle, Caribbean jerk, carnitas, cilantro lime, mesquite barbecue, and brown sugar barbecue, alongside new cuts like pre-sliced ham strips, pork chops, fillets. Effortless cooking, pre-marinated and ready to cook. Just heat and serve for a bold, no fuss flavor. Versatile meals from burrito bowls to barbecue mac and cheese to pasta salads. Endless flavor options make mealtime easy. Protein packed. A satisfying high protein option with 19 grams per serving to keep you full and fueled. Pick up Smithfield marinated and seasoned fresh pork at Walmart for an easy, flavorful weeknight meal. Now, I want to say you can get it a lot of different places. You can just go to this website. You should see it there, smithfieldsfdbrands.com. And that's going to tell you all the places. The website, if you put in your zip code, it'll tell you where to get this. But just a word of honesty from me. I want to say I do cook, as you know. I'm totally familiar with the practice of marinating and pre-seasoning. Usually I get it from a cookbook and I'll put it in a plastic bag and you've got to put it overnight and all kinds of stuff. But when you're inviting people over to your barbecue and you've got guests, or if you're just sitting there at home and you want to watch Jeopardy or a Hallmark movie or whatever, you just want to you don't want to do all that pre-marinating seasoning and all that kind of stuff. So that's what these are great for. You just take them and put them on the grill. Like I put it on a grill pan last time. Today I think we're going to do the same thing. You can put them in the oven, put them on your grill for your barbecue, and they're already ready to go. So you don't have to deal with all the mess this other situation that I was talking about. So let's even take a look at some of this stuff like fresh pork ham strips for carnitas. There's a very versatile style, like for example, Korean barbecue. I don't know if you're into Korean barbecue, but it's amazing. If you were to try to actually make this, it would be extremely difficult. You would have to spend who knows how much time trying to actually come up with the ingredients based on your own intuition or whatever. And I'm not saying that you're a bad cook, but I'm just saying if you would like to cut the guesswork out, why don't you just go ahead and take one of these pork loin strips for carne asada, Korean barbecue, smoky barbecue. So we're jumping around to various countries here. Al pastor, I love al pastor. So you just take these. Look at that. They've got red curry flavor, loin filet. These are all ready to go. They're going to blow people's minds. Like if you're having a barbecue and you say, hey, yeah, what do you think of having a little red curry pork loin filet? They'll be like, wow, that's not the type of barbecue I usually go to. This sounds like some kind of fancy thing. Little do they know that you're just taking one of these pre-packaged, pre-marinated pork products and throwing it on the grill and making you look like a rock star. Like it says here at the top, flavor is easy, for me at least. I'm a seasoned pro, literally. I'll do the hard work. You just take the delicious bite. Take a look at everything I bring to the table. Boy, there's a noise going on there, and I'm not quite sure what that is. But it's driving me a little batty, I'll tell you. Lord Bloom says, perfect. I want to be a rock star. You will be a rock star at your barbecue. I mean, look at this. They've also got some extra fixings around it. They've got some Brussels sprouts as well as other types of things. So sweet and spicy sriracha loin filet, which is great. Red curry pork. It's really incredible stuff and perfect for the summertime. Old Pine app. When I go to BBQs, I like to upstage the host as much as possible. Yeah, you absolutely need to. I'm going to check in on what's happening here. Okay. All right, everybody. So hopefully you take that to heart. There's a little bit of, oh boy. Uh-oh. Something's going on here. I think I've had this on too long. Let's turn that off, shall we? That's weird. I'm going to take this off the heat. Let's just put it there. Capacious T says, I once had a neighbor invite me over and she had made a pork roll stuffed with spinach, and it was the most Caucasian thing ever there was. Zero seasoning. Yeah, that is definitely a thing. When I was young, I didn't like a lot of seasonings, but as I get older, I find that I'm more adventurous. Eclipse Producer says, tastes even better when your guests are drunk. You're talking about at your barbecue. Do they sell alcohol as well? Well, I mean, I'm sure they do at the supermarkets. Guitar Joe says, did we just make butter again? I think we did. I think we accidentally made some type of butter situation. And that noise, I don't know what we're going to do about it. Computer, how do we stop that noise?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
I didn't think so. Okay, let's get back to work here, shall we? A lot of work to be done today, and we're going to have to get into this. Okay. Where are we? Oh, yeah. Sweet potato gratin with Gruyere Au Gratin. Okay, so We're going to butter, and it says remove from heat and set aside. I didn't remove from heat, I just set aside. So you have to read these instructions extremely carefully. Butter a 9 by 13 inch gratin dish and set aside. A gratin dish. What the fuck's a gratin dish? Computer, what's a gratin dish?
I don't have an answer for that.
What are they doing to me? Is there a thing called a gratin dish? I've never heard of that in my life. Butter a 9 times 13 inch gratin dish. All right, hold on. It couldn't have been easy. I'm gonna try. We can try this thing. It's a casserole. Yeah, it's pretty close to 9, maybe enough. This is 9.5, 9 times 9.5. So we're gonna do it and see what we have here. So we need our butter. It says butter a 9 times 13 gratin dish and set aside. This is getting kind of nasty too. What do they mean butter it? I mean, I'll do the best I can. If they mean melt the butter, then I can do that, but I'm just trying to butter it the way I would butter my bread or something. Oh, that's happening. Okay. All right. I think we're good there. All right. Nanakson says, aren't you dividing by 4? What's 9 by 13 times 4? Oh, you're right. So we want to do a smaller one, I would think. Well, we've got a smaller one because this one's 9 instead of 13. Computer, what's 9 times 13 divided by 4?
9 times 13 divided by 4 is 29.25.
29. What? I think we're going to use the same size dish, gratin dish or whatever, and we're going to just have a lower plateau of material in there. Vedos says, isn't there some way to cook without math? No. Math is in everything. It's in music. They even use math in some types of accounting. James Lebronsky says that can't be right. It is. Ask an accountant, and most of the times they have some type of experience with math. Guitar Joe says Ramkin. Yeah, you're right. I have a Ramkin. I have a fucking crusette or whatever, a cruvette. But I don't have a gratin dish. I don't even know what that is. We have a lot of pretty cool stuff around here. Eclipse producer, Henry, I think you need to pronounce gratin the French way. I think computer knows how to do that. Computer, how do you say gratin in French?
Rotten in French is pourri.
Pourri. Ladies Lade says, even accounting, my dad is one. Oh, your dad's an accountant? That's hilarious. Okay. All right, everybody. Let's do it. So we've got this buttered dish, and it says set aside. Boy, it loves to tell you to set aside. Stir the cooling cream occasionally to help prevent the skin from forming. Well, we're too late on that. Yeah, this is nothing but skin. We really botched this up. I'm sorry, but this sucks. We literally made butter, I think. Okay, build your gratin. Okay, so now we're going to start building our gratin. In the buttered casserole dish, we're going to spread 1/4 of the sliced... Uh-oh, I didn't slice my sweet potato. How are we going to do that now? Sorry, everybody. I'm just having a little bit of a moment here. It says 2 pounds sweet potatoes peeled and sliced about 1/8 of an inch thick. Okay, so we're going to have to do that now. Let's just get rid of all this other stuff here. Salt and pepper. Sorry that this one's coming out to be way, way more complicated than I thought it was going to be. We have a very weird shaped thing here. And I'm also a little bit afraid of it because I bought it at the same place that I bought that garlic that didn't come out any good either. But just going to do the best we can here. So we're going to start by peeling this. And I know you guys have questions. Let me check in with the alerts. Beelzebub, thanks again so much for gifting 10 Tier 1 subs. That is absolutely incredible of you to do that. All right. Pull this around here. It really makes it difficult when it's in this weird shape like this. Like that doesn't really make a lot of sense. What the fuck? Game Master Flash, absolutely incredible, has gifted 10 Tier 1 subs. I'm so glad that you did that because I was really kind of a little bit scared of the silence that was happening. It was feeling like dead air, and that big sound came in and just changed everything. That's just so generous of you. Thanks, Game Master Flash. Thanks for the support there. And I want to remind everybody, as long as we're being sponsored, if everything's working correctly, the subs are half price because of the sponsor, Smithfield Pork Products, and we're actually making some of their kind of food right now. So, well, we're making our own thing that's going to serve as sort of a bed, if you will, of what we're going to put our pork chop on top of. And also, Anonymous, thank you so much. Anonymous has gifted a Tier 1 sub to Seymour Wieners. I think I might have gone to high school with someone named Seymour Wiener. Thank you very much, Anonymous, for that. And also, Saguaro Ooh gifted 5 Tier 1 subs. That's very kind of you, Saguaro Ooh. Thank you so much. Okay, I think we're kind of getting there. This is a very difficult thing to peel because it's just such a kind of... What's the word I'm trying to think of? Like a fucked up color. Or not color, shape. But I guess it's a little bit of a fucked up color too. But all right. Thanks again, Saguaro Ooh, Game Master Flash, Parasitosis, Beelzebub, Anonymous, Seymour Wieners. I can't seem to get this inner part because this thing doesn't go there. So I don't know what the solution is here. It can't be done. I think I'm going to have to break this off. Yeah, and then now we can get it. Okay, and then the next thing is that we want to cut these up into coins. And let's go ahead and do that with a knife. I'm going to use this knife. You know what? I'm just not going to use this part of it, I think. We're just going to cut it up into coins. So we want these coined. There was a term that we learned. I think they call it mandolins or juliens. Let's see here. But we want, either way, we want peeled and sliced about 1/8 of an inch thick. Okay, we can do that. So let's see here. How are we going to do that? Capacious T says, can you use that peeler on your skin? I need something to help with wrinkles. I wouldn't try it. If you've seen that movie Weapons, there's a whole scene about that. Okay. So we're going to cut these into, what did it say? 1/8 inch coins. So we've got a tape measure here. 1/8 of an inch is probably about and once you have one, you can use that as a guide for the rest of them. So let's check in with brisket over here. Sorry, I had a little sneezing attack there. Game Master Flash says, oh, it went by too quick, but I think it was a private conversation between Parasitosis and Game Master Flash in the chat. Capacious T says, does anybody remember a horror film from the 70s or 80s where a woman sticks her hand in the garbage disposal, it turns out? Wow, that sounds terrifying. I wonder if that's a... Computer, when did garbage disposals first come out?
Garbage disposals were first introduced in the early 1930s, revolutionizing kitchen waste management with a convenient way to handle food scraps.
Yeah, I'll bet as soon as those garbage disposals came out, people started cutting their hands, and then they had to make them better and better. But yeah, they can be terrifying. Okay, so if you're just joining us, we're julienning up some sweet potatoes, and we're going to be placing them in our gratin dish. Oh, Beelzeby says it was Amityville Horror. Carreño Pinion says, man, you could make some delicious chips with these. Yeah, I'll bet you could. We should just be doing that. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to make a bed. We want to make our bed and we want to lay in it. Okay, so let's go ahead and push this stuff aside. Running out of space again. Let's see. And Saguaro, ooh, thank you again so much for your 5-gift subscription. If anybody's following along, we are currently at 514 subscribers. And that's an amazing number. I want to thank you so much for all the gift subs. And I want to thank our sponsor, Smithfield, for giving 50% discount on subs. Thank you, users. You are incredible people. Mystic Sorcha says, hell yeah. Okay, so next order of business that is happening now is going to be what? 2 pounds sweet potato. Okay, so we're building our gratin in the buttered casserole dish. Spread 1/4 of the sliced. What the fuck? Oh my goodness. We've got Parasitosis has gifted 5 tier 1 subs. That's very kind of you, Parasitosis. Very kind of you. Thank you for all that you do. Venus Frogski says, W gifts. Yep. Okay, so we have here a gratin dish. I'm calling it a casserole dish. I think this is a casserole dish. We still haven't figured out what a gratin dish is. We know what a ramekin is. But we're going to put these, I guess. We're going to spread a quarter of the sliced sweet potatoes. Why just a quarter, I wonder? Why would they do that? Out in a single overlapping layer. A single overlapping layer means it's not a single layer, it's overlapping, right? Single layer, maybe they just mean they're kind of touching each other. Usually you want to give these things time to breathe during the cooking process, but I'm just going to go with what it says there. Okay, and then we're going to sprinkle these potatoes with 1/3 of the salt, pepper, and thyme. So let's grab our salt and pepper shaker. I can't see it coming out, so I don't know if I put too much or not. And then pepper. And we're going to put a little bit of our organic thyme on there. I don't know if this is something where you have to rinse it, but I should probably rinse it down. Just erring on the side of caution, I guess. Okay. So we're going to put just a little bit of our thyme, and then we're going to put some of the grated cheese over that. This is fun, actually. I think I kind of see where they're going with this, and I like it. All right. Okay, so there's that, and then next we want to put our shez, a 1/2 cup of the grated cheese. So, where is the cheese? 2 cups. Okay, so we're gonna have to do some math. 2 cups divided by 4 is 1/4 of or 1/2 of a cup. And of that, it says only put 1/2 of your great cheese. Sorry, everybody. My brain's gonna explode here with the math. Sprinkle. Okay, we did the salt and pepper and thyme. About 1/2 cup of the grated cheese, but it thinks that we're using 2 cups, so it's saying use 1/4 of it, but we're already quartering it anyway. So 1/4 of 2 cups would be 1/2 cup, but we need 1/4 of that. So computer, what's 1/4 of that?
1/4 of 1/4 is 0.0625.
Okay, 0.0625 of cheese. So in other words, Beanie Bo Beanie says 1/8. Yeah, but 1/8 of what? That's the part that I'm having a hard time with. I think I'm just going to guesstimate. I know it's 1/8, everybody. I don't know 1/8 of what. Three tablespoons. 2 tablespoons. Roach Swallower says 1/8 of D's nuts. No, I don't think there's nuts involved in this recipe at all. Of any type. Okay. Now what? It says, now we're building our, if you're just joining us, we're building our gratin. Now using another quarter of the sliced sweet potatoes, we're going to build a new overlapping layer. So we're going to basically just build layer on top of layer, kind of like we're building a building, you know? And you want them to overlap, but only slightly. And we're going to again sprinkle with 1/3 of our seasonings. I'm not counting out 1/3 of the thyme, but we're just going to have some nice thyme on there. And salt and pepper. And now another, about the same amount of cheese that we used on the last one. Whatever. Not sure I like this little blemish here. Take that out. Okay, let's put our fromage, as they say in French. James Lebronsky says, I fucked this up. God damn it. I'm very sorry to hear that, James Lebronsky. I'm sorry that you're having a difficult time. This is not an easy recipe. This is not your grandmother's fucking sweet potato gratin au gratin. This is the real deal. And we came here to cook. Corinne Opinion says, did you know that grated is a French word too, like gratin? Gratin? Is that how you say it? Vedos says, this is the most math-intensive recipe I've ever seen you do. Yeah, it really is a hassle. We picked a very, very difficult one today. It's very upsetting. Okay, now we're going to use the last of the sweet potatoes to make one final layer over the top. Okay. And we're going to sprinkle the last 1/3 of our seasonings. So we're going to do again a little pepper from our salt and pepper shaker. I just think that's the cutest thing in the world. Salt and pepper shakers. Who would have thought that they would eventually have stuff like that? There's all these people saying, oh, you know, the times are terrible. It's like, we literally have salt and pepper shakers. Like, that's got to be good for something, right? Renthar says, hence the French root in the term calculator. Oh, I didn't know that. McFlurry Mac says, salt and pepper make it better. Yeah, they do. They really do. All right, now we're going to stir the garlic and cream mixture, but we're not using garlic, remember, because we threw ours away because it looked nasty. And we also don't even really have cream. We have some type of butter situation, but we're going to do the best that we can. We want to stir this over evenly over the top of the gratin, being sure to cover the top layer of the sweet potatoes. Oh, this is full on butter. Like, we made butter so much faster than we did it when we did it way back. Something like that. And you know what? I think I'm just going to put a little bit of cream on there anyway, because the cream's going to heat up, right? There's nothing wrong with doing a little bit of improvisation in the kitchen, ever. I don't want any of you to ever think that there is. You know what? I'm even going to do a little more cheese. There's nothing wrong with Computer, what's the worst that could happen if you eat too much cheese?
From Providence.org. People with lactose intolerance who eat too much dairy can experience painful symptoms like inflammation, gas, diarrhea, and nausea.
Yeah, but I mean, I just call that Monday. Parasitosis says, cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money dollar bill, y'all. Is that a Salt and Pepper lyric? Guitar Joe says, what is actually good with sweet potatoes? To me, it's like candy and nothing really goes well with it. Apparently thyme and a little bit of cheese. Well, we're going to see. We'll see what this tastes like. Nancy Driddle says, ask computer what get favorite cheese is. Computer, what's get favorite cheese?
The top search result for cheese on Amazon is organic thick cut shredded mild cheddar cheese, 6 ounces package. It's rated 4.6 stars by more than 570 customers. It's $7.49 on Amazon. It doesn't come with Prime shipping, so it's not available for direct purchase.
Computer, thank you.
You are so very welcome. Enjoy your Sunday afternoon.
Thank you. Old Pine app says, I have sweet potatoes for lunch with sour cream and chili crisp. Delicious. Wow, that sounds good. Okay, what's next here? We've built our gratin, and we want to shake gently. Sprinkle the remaining cheese over the top. Oh yeah, we already did that. I put a little bit of cheese, so we're going to just shake this a little bit. I don't know what good that did, but we're going to cover the dish with a foil. I'm going to use an aluminum foil. I know a lot of you guys are still using the tin foil. Tin foil has become very problematic, and we really, here at Henry's Kitchen, we really encourage you to use the aluminum. Let's go ahead. We had another alert come down. Chris likes pizza. Thank you so much for joining us here today and for your subscription for 3 months. It says, been watching your special on YouTube, but it's been hilarious. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Chris likes pizza. And Frito Wolf. Thank you so much, Frito Wolf, for your subscription. I will say that it must be weird for people to see me 10 years ago doing a comedy special, and then 10 years later cooking in my apartment and really stressing out about it. Capacious T says, hey Henry, was that your dad in the Henry's Kitchen episode when you were cooking your neighbor's house, Bill? Yeah, my neighbor was Bill. He was also my father, late father. He passed away a few years ago, but we had a lot of fun making those videos. Those were good times. Okay, let's go ahead and put this. Where is our ingredients? Computer, how much time left?
There are no timers set.
Okay, let's see here. Computer, set the timer for 30 minutes. Hey! Computer, set timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now.
Yeah, I slapped cat butts. He absolutely was. You're absolutely right. And he was in Punching Henry and Punching the Clown. Roach Swaller says, damn, really? I never knew this. Is this another lie? Nope, it's absolutely true. Venus Frogsky says, hey, computer. Angry Penguin 922 says, I like when he throws the food in the trash like a boss. Yep.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
All right. Well, let's see what the next order of business is here. Cream, stir in the mixture, shake, sprinkle, cover with the foil, bake in the middle of oven for 30 minutes. Remove the foil. Remove the gratin to the top 1/3 of the oven and bake. Wow. This is a lot of work. Bake in the middle of the oven. Let's just start with that part. Computer, how much time is left?
You have 28 minutes left on your 30-minute timer.
Okay, so that's going to work out. Capacious T says, I love Henry lore. The littlest fan cube lover pointed out your dad to me. Well, that's very nice. Very nice to hear. Okay, so now the star of our show, and I can't wait to do this. We're going to be adding our... Wait, the Balderdash lad says, very demanding dish. Almost as if no matter how good it might be, it still makes you feel empty inside. Okay, on that note, why don't we go take a look at brisket? Well, I'm going to get our pork chop out from Smithfield. And I also have to get a grill pan, which we're going to use. I have a little bit of work that needs to be done here. So just kind of bear with me for a quick sec. Computer, do you have to wash your meat?
Washing meat can help remove surface dirt and bacteria, but it's important to remember that it won't eliminate all harmful bacteria inside the meat. For safety, cook meat to the proper internal temperature to ensure it's fully cooked and safe to eat.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do here. And we're just doing a very little bit of preparation here. Everybody chill out for a sec. We're also going to do a couple of little tricks with brisket. Brisket has been a really wonderful addition to the Henry's Kitchen situation that we're experiencing over here. I have some type of cooking spray, but I can't seem to find it, and it's really annoying because I just bought it recently. Let's turn on our infrared stove. We have this beautiful Smithfield barbecue pork chop, hickory smoked barbecue pork chop, all prepared, seasoned. We're going to go ahead and put this thing on. I don't seem to have my cooking spray, so I'm going to use this. And I'm going to hope that that's good enough. Computer, is that good enough?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Okay, let's get this nice and hot. I know you have questions. I'm going to get to them. Van Honkerton says, hi, Henry. Does the oven have a marker for the middle point? I put it in, I think, well, there's 4. So there's really no exact middle. There's 4 racks. So the second rack would be the closest to the middle, but the real rack would be 3 out of 5 if it were truly the middle, or 2.5, or I don't know what it would be, but all right. Roach Swallower says, what is the original purpose of this very bizarre rigid pan? What it does is it actually makes it so that you can emulate a grill. It's got raised bumps on there, and then what you're going to do is you're going to emulate the grill situation where you have, like, you know, really charred lines on there. It's pretty cool. It's a griddle, says Corinne Opinion. Panlore, Shardy Fardum Official says it's ribbed. Yes, that's correct. Nancy Droodles says, and your mom was in Highwayman and you and your fucking coffee, right? Yep. I have a tendency to put all of the people that are close to me somewhere in whatever odd situation I'm trying to put together. Thitchin Hat says, ribbed for the pork's pleasure. Yeah, that's one way to phrase it, I guess. Doki Deki says, is this what they use to make McRibs? I'm not sure, actually. Conoclast says, Henry, if you could reincarnate as anything, what would you want to be reincarnated as? You know, it's interesting that you asked me that because I've been thinking about it a little bit. And honestly, it very well might be to be a dog. Uh, the journey of life is a difficult one. And the older we get, the more we get torn down with baggage, thinking about, paperwork and money that we have to spend. Or did that person rip me off? Did I get ripped off at the dealership? Did I get ripped off at the, by any of the various agencies that are asking me for money? And it's very stressful. But I was thinking about our dog Brisket here, who's a temporary rescue situation. Brisket doesn't have her own free agency. She just sort of goes with the flow. If we need to put her in a crate and transport her to a fair, put a little ribbon on her and display her so that maybe some little girl will want their mom to adopt her or whatever, she'll just sort of go with it, and she's happy. She doesn't know anything about what's happening, but she's happy. And to me, that would be truly a wonderful way to live. Brisket will most likely live about as long as the natural lifespan is for her species. And the rest of us, I hope we do, but thinking about paperwork while you're tossing and turning in the middle of the night is not going to do it. Saguaro U says the life of Brisket is the pinnacle of existence, and I tend to agree. Parasidosis says, I want to be reborn as one of the subterranean mole men who live under New York City and keep the lights on for the whole country. You know what? I didn't know that there were subterranean mole men in New York City, but I'm happy knowing that they are keeping us alive. Eclipse Producer says, I'd rather be a cat because I don't have to be walked all the time and I can do my own thing. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things about being a cat as well. But they also don't have to worry about paperwork. McFlurry Mac says, became strangely philosophical suddenly. Yeah, we do all kinds of different things here. And we're going to be doing some gaming in a little bit. Okay. All right, everybody, enough of this nonsense. Let's go ahead and put our pork chop on this. And I don't want to get it too hot. We actually have a lot of time that we're going to be cooking here. I like to hear a little bit of that sizzle, so we're just going to set that aside. And that will no doubt be the best part of what we're eating today. I'm going to put my half and half away. Computer, how much time left on the timer?
You have 20 minutes left on the 30-minute timer.
The elusive man says, hey, Henry, any tips on how to prepare exotic meats like red panda or giraffes? I would probably say it's about the similar to any type of meat. I know that for beef, you want it to be 165 degrees. You want salmon to be 145 degrees. Computer, what is the ideal temperature if you want to cook giraffe? You know what? She's not answering, and I don't blame her. I think it's an inappropriate question. I don't know why you'd want to eat a giraffe. A giraffe looks like it's just minding its own business. Unsuccessfully Coping says, thank you, subterranean mole men. Yeah, for the electricity that you give us. Lord Bloom says, dogs and cats don't need to do taxes. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Somebody else does that for them. Okay, computer, how much time left?
You have 19 minutes left on your 30-minute timer.
Okay, so we can put a couple things away. We can also start thinking about our pork chop. Corinne Upinion says, if I'd eat a giraffe, I'd only eat the neck. Okay. I suppose that's definitely some food for thought. Something smells. I think it's my oven, and I think it's because I was making a pizza and the cheese fell down on the floor of the oven. So It smells like burnt cheese, so I'm not totally happy about that. Yep. We've had a lot of difficulty with that whole situation today, and I'm not totally happy about it. Van Honkerton says, hi, Henry and the users, I'm off to bed. Have a good... Oh, Van Honkerton, good night to you. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, I guess it's probably at 5 p.m. where you are. We hope you have a good night's sleep. Actually, where you are, you might be in Europe, and it might even be later than that. Eclipse Producer says, I feel like this is one of your longest dishes as for how much time it takes, Henry. And I've been watching your streams for 6 months now. You know what? Yeah, this is a long one. Let's see where we're at. But I got to say, you guys are incredible. There's 260 viewers right now on the stream and 522 subscribers, which to me is pretty damned awesome. And I want to thank you for that. Okay, Ladies Laid says, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Oh, you're talking to Van Honkerton. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead. I think this is probably as good of a time as any for us to go ahead and do our, here, I'm going to turn this down a little bit to do our thank you song. Look, it's no secret. We all know it. It takes a village to put on an epic production like the one that we've got here. It's extremely difficult. And if it were just one person, like myself, for example, I would have given up so long ago, and I would have given up over and over again, because I'm not somebody who sticks through doing a whole lot of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do a song that's thanking all the people that have helped out here. And there's so many of you. This is not just the people that run the Discord, but it's also the technical advisors, the moderators, the big streamers who have given us raids. We had a whole bunch of raids last time, and that was incredible. The tier 3 subscribers, so many people, and not nearly enough. Iron Moth has joined us and says hello. Hey, Iron Moth, thank you very much for joining us. And thanks again to Chris Likes Pizza, and also Lady Dina 17. Thank you so much for cheering 10 bits. That's very kind of you. Let me see how we're doing on this pork chop here. I think I'm going to flip it. Woo! That's hot. Very hot. But looking pretty damn good if you want to see. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay this pork chop over our whatever that thing is that we're making, the gratin potato dish. Purple Donut Filling His Fruit says, no, thank you, Henry, for helping me make it through the night. Thank you very much. Carino Opinion says, cooking with the guitar cracks me up. It is kind of a weird look, I think. Ladies Laid, thank you so much for cheering 24 bits. That's very kind of you. Okay, I'm trying to think if we should go up-tempo on this or if we should just do it. Yeah. I'm going to do this to the tune. Why don't we do this to the tune of Jose Suicidio's Holy Guacamole. And this is, again, a thank you song to you, the users of Henry's Kitchen, for all that you do. Iron Moth says, as a professional chef in Norway, I love seeing people make food on stream. Well, you came to the right place. We're having a good old time here. If you want to see a little bit of the mess that we've already made here, it's been a lot. And also, there's a noise going off there that's just driving me absolutely nuts. It only seems to go on when I put on my infrared stove. So here we go. This is a song to thank you, the users. Fucking dingo bop, dumb beef, hot bear 1110, do dingle dog goggle, Dr. Flanges and Baccoos. Shane SBLs, Mochi's Nirvana. It's Kate, Kairos, and Bumble Vision, the LGX Chef Reactions, Husky Boyle, Bill Arkin Music, and the Toilie. Nim, Moon, Amaru, Orca Mind, S-Fan, Bonnie, Dazzle Cat, Blurry Little Quest, Borson, Vanilla, Parasitosis. Don't forget Quanto, Beanie Bobini, who is our intern. Okay, that noise is gonna stop right now because I'm taking that thing out. I don't know if you guys can hear that noise, but it really drives me batshit. Or apeshit if you prefer. Computer, what's worse? To be driven apeshit?
Adjective, worse is usually defined as
That's not
bad
what...
or ill in greater or
Computer, I'm not done with my question. Hey!
As a noun,
Computer,
worse is
stop! I'm not asking what the word worse means. Computer, what's worse? To be driven batshit or to be driven apeshit?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Alright, never mind, just forget it. Where were we then? Oh yeah. Now we're gonna do the tier 3 subscribers in the new key. Dazzle. Wait, no. Dazzle Cats, Oddbane, Toke My Nuts, Saguaro, Ugrita, 555, Dinosaur, I Slept, Cat Butts, JB's Tech, Sickly Boy, BLSB, Handlips, 1 Caitlin's Kitchen, Lacey T, Purple Donut, Filling His Fruit, Tankard and Borson, Ben Zodiac, Tone, Gary Busey, ASMR, and Lurk Bowl, Shandis, Nova Glary, Mr. Gooseberry, VT, D's Nuts, Game Master Flash, Mimsy Coon, the Cat Food Taste Tester, the Cheernex, Mochi's Nirvana, Red Hot Hibachi, Ransom GR, Aciditus, Michelle, Effie, Embry 225, Yarchasm, Nico Tazo, Michael Bublé 4422, Potato Cat, Breeder, Passion Error, Ocean 64, Midnight Faded, JSBX Fan, Aciditus, Pool Boys 789, BK 69, Rose Dower 007, and Royal Flush 9. And don't forget Quanto. Eclipse producer says normalize cooking with a guitar. We really need to do that. Balderdash Lad says I love that one. Hey, thank you very much, Balderdash Lad. And Nancy Droodles says never. You've got the best communion users. Thanks for all you do. Wow, that's very kind of you, Nancy Droodles. Thanks for your subscription. Old Pine App says I think batshit. Apes are basically human, and we see human shit all the time. Batshit though, it's like tar. I agree. Okay, we're gonna put the guitar away. I don't want to overcook my pork chop because this pork chop could very well be the only good part about what we're doing today. So I think we're just gonna sort of leave it on the counter. Or we're going to take it off the heat, and we're going to, I guess I could put it on my plate here. But yeah, that's looking pretty nice. Computer, how much time is left? Computer, how much time is left?
You have 9 minutes and 40 seconds left on your 30-minute timer.
And man, does that smell delicious as well. We're going to be cooking up something really good and tasty here. Thanks again, Nancy Droodles. I want to check in with you, the users. You, I know that there's a lot of questions. Ladies Laid says, how do I give a specific person a sub? I want to give one to Hellstrom. I don't really know how to do that. There's got to be a way to do it. Guitar Joe says, I have an encoded riddle for Henry. Okay, these are always fun. Encoded riddle for Henry. It says here, some say I cover up mistakes. Some say I add depth. Muddy or spacious come to mind. But the time for me is already behind. What am I? Whew. Cover up mistakes. Well, you could cover it up with, there used to be a product called liquid paper. Muddy or spacious. Ooh, spacious reminds me of maybe thinking about a space, like maybe a big ballroom or something like that, or a cave. Muddy. Oh, I know what this is. This is music lingo. What Guitar Joe is doing is Guitar Joe is telling me that I have left the reverb on. I put reverb on when I sing to make my voice sound better, to cover up mistakes. And sometimes I leave it on and it just sounds ridiculous, like there's a guy in a cave of a kitchen teaching you how to cook. So I'm going to turn that off right now. I want to tell everybody, if you're ever going to tell me that I've left the reverb on or any kind of technical mistake, I prefer it if you do it either in riddle form like Guitar Joe did, or you could do it in the form of a joke. We've had that, or some type of code works also. So I appreciate that. Okay, Kano Class says Henry is also a reverb explainer. Yeah, I'm explainer of all trades, master of none, I guess is what you would say. Capacious T says, can you microwave everything? I don't want you to get brainworms. Yeah, I don't want to either. I don't know that there's really any way around that though. Okay, so let's go ahead now and computer, how much time is left?
You have 7 minutes left on your 30-minute timer.
Okay. I think it's time for us to go ahead and do our third commercial presentation. So it's no secret, we are being sponsored today by Smithfield Pork Products. You might know the company. I've bought their bacon many times in the past. They have a line of pork products that are already prepared and seasoned that are absolutely incredible. And I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate their website to you as part of my commitment to them. And in exchange, I want to say that they are making it so that we can have these 50% off, what do you call it? Subs. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn that on. All right. So let's take a look here. Wait, what are we doing? Oh yeah. Sorry, everybody. We're gonna get this going. Okay, I'm trying to get to the website. That's not it, of course. We're gonna get to it, however. Okay, here we go. This is Smithfield Prepared Pork. You can go to their website and find out where you can get it in your neighborhood, usually at popular supermarkets. It says here, flavor is easy, for me at least. I am a seasoned pro, literally. I do the hard work. You just take the delicious bite, take a look at everything I bring to the table. So you've got all these products, right? And they're absolutely delicious, and they span a wide range of seasonings. Like, for example, Korean barbecue, carne asada, sweet and smoky barbecue, seasoned pork belly bites. So that's already 3 countries right there. So I'm going to go ahead and read the advertisement. I hope nobody makes fun of me because sometimes my reading is not great, but I'm also trying to put it into my own words as well. This stream segment is sponsored by Smithfield. Whether you're hosting a backyard barbecue or casually a family get-together, Smithfield marinated and seasoned fresh pork delivers bold, craveable flavor with minimal prep. And they are not kidding about the minimal prep part. You literally just can take these right out of the package and throw it on the grill Or if you're at home and you want to watch TV, maybe with your pet, you don't have to spend a whole day leaving them in some plastic bag, seasoning and prepping the marinade and all that stuff. And a lot of times you don't even know how to do it. So these are all done for you, and it's fresh, and you just throw it on the grill at the barbecue, and it makes you look like a rock star. Minimal prep is right. These ready to cook products are freshly seasoned and marinated, making it easy to serve up versatile, protein packed meals any night of the week. Literally any night. It could be Saturday, featuring bold new flavors and cuts. So let's go through some of these flavors that they've got. Look at this. Garlic and herb, sweet and smoky barbecue, osso buco. I still have to look up what osso buco is. Chipotle Caribbean jerk, carnitas, cilantro lime, mesquite barbecue and brown sugar barbecue, alongside new cuts like pre-sliced ham strips, pork chops, fillets, effortless cooking, and literally effortless, meaning you're just heating and serving. You're doing the effortless part. The other work has already been done for you, and it's going to taste delicious. So pre-marinated, ready to cook, just heat and serve for bold, no fuss flavor. Versatile meals from burrito bowls to barbecue mac and cheese to pasta salads. Endless flavor options make mealtime easy. Protein packed, a satisfying high protein option with 19 G's per serving to keep you full and fueled. 19 grams, by the way. Pick up Smithfield marinated and seasoned fresh pork at Walmart for an easy, flavorful weeknight meal. Or you can go to this website and there's an area where you can put in your zip code and it'll tell you exactly, where you're supposed to do it. Or where you're supposed to buy it from. So this stuff is delicious, and for an old guy like myself, I gotta say, if they had something like this back when I was a youngster, trying to have a barbecue and be sort of the king of the party, because of course when you put on a barbecue, you're sort of the rock star, and if you can serve up something delicious, everybody wants to hang out with you. Everybody wants to be with you. And you have immediate respect from people. And that's something that I never really had when I was growing up. And how cool would it be to have just a few friends over casually and just say like, hey, I'm just going to be throwing on, some meats if you guys want to come over. And then you put on something like roasted garlic and cracked black pepper fresh pork tenderloin. It would blow their minds. It would just literally blow their minds. And it kind of makes me a little sad now thinking about the fact that this is something that you guys have available to you that I didn't have. I didn't have that chance when I was growing up, and it just makes me feel like I sort of missed out on something that other people are able to enjoy. Okay, so go and pick up yourself some Smithfield prepared pork products. This pork chop in front of me smells absolutely delicious, and I freaking can't wait to eat it. So, okay. Game Master Flash says, I wonder if Nancy would have noticed you if you had all these pork products available to you. Yeah, definitely would. I'll tell you a little bit what that reference is. When I was in third grade, there was a kid named Shane who was a bully. And one time, there was a girl that I liked a lot named Nancy. Oh, computer, stop. Computer, set timer for 1 hour.
1 hour, starting now.
Okay. So Nancy was there, and one time I showed up to school with a haircut, and it was very short, and I was very embarrassed about it, so I put on a hat. And Shane came over and said, why are you wearing a hat? And Nancy was there. And I said, I just, thought I'd wear a hat today. And he said, I think you're wearing a hat because you got a haircut. And he took my hat off, and all the kids laughed at me, even Nancy. And I started crying. And at one point, when I was walking home from school, Nancy and Shane both were pointing at me and laughing at how bad my haircut was. And I never really forgot it. I've never gotten over it. As a matter of fact, I haven't really opened up to people about it the way I should have. And Game Master Flash, you're absolutely right. If I had my own barbecue situation where I could just have just killer pre-seasoned, Korean barbecue, whatever, where I just throw it on the grill. You don't even have to be smart. You just throw it on the grill for 10 minutes on each side, and you've got this killer food that tastes like you got it at a restaurant. Nancy would have been like, Shane who? I'm hanging out with Henry and his killer barbecue. Okay, so thanks for letting me open up about that. It was a very difficult thing that I had to go through in my life. And it's been 53 years or something like that. Or no, probably about 50 years since that happened. But I still think about it every single day, every minute. Okay, so let's take a look at what our next order of business is in terms of our food. It says here we're going to cover, we covered the dish. Okay, so now, after the 30-minute mark, which I think is past, we're going to remove our foil and we're going to move our gratin dish to the top 1/3 of the oven. Ugh, what the hell do they mean by that? Uncovered for an additional 20 mins. Okay, so let's just do one thing at a time. Sometimes they go real fast and it's very difficult, but we're going to do the best that we can here. Oh, did I turn off the oven? I'm not supposed to. I don't think I'm supposed to turn the oven off. Cover. Okay, remove the foil. Let's take a look at what's happening here. I'm going to plug my Stream Deck back in here. Okay, so we're going to remove the foil. Okay, I kind of see what they're doing here. Remove the foil. We're going to move our gratin top to 1/3 of the oven and bake. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Move our gratin top to 1/3 of the... All right. Nancy Drudel says, are those char marks? Yeah. Or are they AI? No, they're real. Okay, so uncovered for an additional 20 minutes. I don't know what they mean, but I'm going to put these back in the oven. I think that's what they're basically saying, is put this... Whoa! This smells good, guys. This smells really good. That's got to be a good sign, right? Or until the top. Okay, so we're going to move this to the top of the oven and bake. I think we're going to take a rack out. Whew. That thing's hot. We're going to put that in there. I think uncovered. I turned down the heat a little bit. I don't know if I was supposed to. For an additional 20 minutes. Computer, how much time on the timer?
You have 54 minutes left on your 1-hour timer.
Okay, so computer, Set a 20-minute timer and call it potato. Hey, computer, set 20-minute timer and call it potato.
Potato timer, 20 minutes, starting now.
Thank you. Iron Moth says, I need to sleep now. See you guys later. Hey, Iron Moth, thanks for joining us today. Beanie Bobini says, move to the top rack. Yeah, I think that's what I did, right? Well, there's one rack above that, but it says to the top third of the oven. So I don't know. As long as it's in the top 3, I guess it's fine. Your Scylla says, let's go. Your Scylla says, good night, Iron Moth. Yeah, let's all say good night to Iron Moth. And it's Happy Father's Day today. For our dads out there, or even if you're somebody who's got a dad, Happy Father's Day to your dad. And Purple Donut Filling His Fruit says, yay, my dog pooped. That's very good to hear. Thank you very much for that. And Quack 2079 says, night good. Backwards. Iconoclast. Good night, Iron Moth. Yep. Tech Shabby says nighty night. All right, everybody. Let's go ahead and so we don't need this anymore. Starting to develop a lot of trash. We're gonna play a game, and we're gonna play a game that was made by a very special user that's part of our community here. First, I'm gonna I need to throw this away. Now, I'm not going to quite throw it away. I think I'm just going to put this here for now. And let's grab our keyboard here. Hold on, let me get it set up. Wait. It's always a little bit difficult. I got to put on the desktop audio. I got to go to variety. I want to thank Quanto, our technical advisor, for setting this all up for me. It's absolutely incredible what Quanto has been able to do. Okay, and I also need this to be cropped. Okay. Oh no, I go like this and then go like this. All right, here we go. This game was brought to us by Beelzebub. Beelzebub is one of our main users. Beelzebub is one of the inspirations for me getting on Twitch to begin with, back to direct messages on Patreon very early on. And Beelzebub has been so instrumental in so many things. And she actually made us a game, a Henry's Kitchen themed game, and it's called Bowly. And we are going to play it right now. So I want to make sure that we can see everything. Carino Opinion says, do you still have the yolk, buddy? Yeah, we do somewhere. I'm not really sure. Is Saguaro still number 1? Beelzebub asks. Maybe. I'm not sure. Oh, I see. So I can go like this. Okay, so that's the nice logo there. We're going to pull it down and go to this. This is going better than it has in the past. Oh, boy. Beelzebub, where do I get to see the high scores?
Stop farting, please.
Is that me?
Please stop farting.
Oh my goodness. Options. Oh yeah, leaderboard. Oh, I think, oh yeah, here we go. OMG, I'm the best has the highest score with 7,270. Saguaro Ooh is 7,240. Boner of a Lonely Fart, 7,055. I Slap Cat Butts with 6,895. And I Slap Cat Butts actually has 2 slots with a 6,830. And Beelzebub Boner. Okay, that's a motley crew of people right there. Saguaro Ooh's been dethroned. Okay. I'm going to have to go ahead and let's see how well I can do at this. So I'm gonna explain the game. We're dropping things in the bowlie. We can. Beelzeby says we can adjust the music.
I don't want any more farting. I can't.
Let's bring background music. Oh, we can bring the master down here. Maybe a little like that. Trying to come up with my mix. Should we look at some game info? Okay, we're going to drop the pieces into the bowl. We're going to match two of the same item. So we're going to match like with like. And we've got our Onyo helm there. And keep merging to earn points. If the pieces overflow above the bowl, the game ends. Okay. Oh no. More info, level progression. Game is still being polished. So this is Beelzeby actually made this game, and I think it's incredible. So we're gonna go all the way to when they overflow. Official John Bon Jovi. Wait, the real? Hold on a second. We got to see if this is the real John Bon Jovi, who just gave us a sub situation. Official Bon Jovi. I don't think that Twitch allows you to say official in front of your name unless you are that person. So I think the real official John Bon Jovi, who I grew up listening to his music, has just subscribed here with a new subscription. Thank you very much, Bon Jovi, for joining us. I just am a huge fan. I've always been a fan. I even used to do a little bit of an imitation of you. Shot through the heart and you're to blame. You know, something like that. It's not as good as it used to be. Nancy Droodles says, never mind. You've got the best communion, users. Thanks for all. Yeah, I think we read that. Thank you very much. So that catches us up. Nancy Drills, thanks for your subscription as well. Okay, everybody. Let's get back to bowling. Here we go.
Okay. Alright, we've got a lot of work to do.
So remember, we want like with like. Star anus. And then we've got that, and then we've got a bug here. Wow, I'm really killing it out of the gate. Oh, yes, that worked out. Okay. Can I ask Beelzeby, is this timed? Or can I just kind of chill out? Wow, look, I made an avocado. Wait, hold on. Something just popped up here. Okay. Corinne Opinion says it's not timed. Oh, there we go. That was a close one. Oh, yeah. Man, if you ask me, I think I'm really killing it right now. There we go. I'm totally destroying.
We fought.
I can't.
And I like the quotes.
I can't just sit here and sniff it all day. We've got work to do.
Uh-oh. Now we have a problem. This is problematic.
Can't just sit here.
Beelzeby says Parasitosis came up with the idea to make a Henry version. I still haven't played the real game. Maybe we'll try that one sometime, but I love it. I love this. I don't know if I can get this in there, guys. Okay, every now and then it's opening other random other stuff. Let's see here. Does anybody know why it would do that, I wonder? So Guitar Joe says the original is dreadfully boring, so I'll bet it doesn't have cool music like this. Purple Donut Filling His Fruit has a message here. It says, "Hey Henry and users, I was in the basement of a furniture store and I kind of fell through a wall into some sort of back rooms. Can you help?" Not right now, Purple Donut Filling His Fruit. We're doing some pretty important business, but why don't you just kind of chill out there for a little bit? Maybe there's some kind of fun stuff you can look at and take some video of, like if you have a camcorder of some sort, and record everything. And we'll be able to help you eventually. I don't understand why every now and then my browser is opening. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't know why it's doing that. Is that me talking backwards?
I can't just sit here and sniff it all day. We've got work to do.
Fuck, that was no good at all. Shit.
Can't just sit here. Can't just sit here. Can't just sit here. Got work to do. Can't just sit here. Can't just sit here. Can't just sit here. Got work to do. Work to do.
Colossal waste of time.
Work to do. Work to do.
This is great music, and do I understand that Parasitosis came up with the music for it? It's really good. I feel like I'm at a club. Yeah, I think Jose likes to get down with this sort of tech type music every now and then. Whoa, that was huge what just happened. Did you guys just see that? That was insane. Oh boy. This might be the highest score ever. Computer, how much time is left?
You have 2 timers. Potato, with about 7 minutes and 30 seconds left, and a 1-hour timer, with about 41 minutes left.
Okay, we are killing it. We conquered. We fought. I think every now and then I get real nervous, but then I just start playing a video game and I start forgetting about all my problems. Pug Lady loves the song too. I love it too. It's very catchy and it's soothing in a way. Okay. Parasitosis thinks the music sucks. I don't think it does at all. I think it's really good.
I can't just sit here and sniff it all day. We've got work to do.
It'd be a fun song to see if we could go to one of these high school rave parties and just throw it on there and see how it goes over.
Can't just sit here.
I was thinking like a high school,
Can't just sit here.
what do you call it, a prom or a senior banquet situation. Okay, we got a long way to go here. I'm not worried at all, and I'm oh, look at that. See, now every now and then I get a real lucky jolt like that. Oh, come on, get that, get there. It's doing it. Yep, it's gonna fall through, watch. Ah, it didn't. Oh, there, it did.
We fought and we came.
I think that was something I said with my mouth full once. Beelzeby says, in the updated version, I fixed it so the anuses actually touch and the merge They merge and everything. It's a lot better. I just need to finish working on it. Wow. Guitar Joe says some good luck on this run. Oh, some good luck this run. Yeah. We're definitely getting a much higher score than I've ever had before. This is probably a game that you could play at work. In fact, this is probably a game that you can play instead of doing whatever work it is that you're supposed to be doing. There we go. Fuck that. Yep, I'll say. Fire. Aren't you technically playing this at work right now? Yeah, one of my various types of work, I suppose. Oh, by the way, I haven't even told people, and maybe it's Kate, if you don't mind, there's going to be a, I'm doing another show in Mahomet, Illinois, and it's on my website, and there's a link and everything like that. So if you want to come see a live show and you live anywhere near the Midwest, we always have a lot of fun. It's, I guess it would be considered rural Illinois. Can somebody let me know if that's true? But it's called Mahomet, Illinois. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I've heard a lot of my friends have done this particular gig, and they say it's a really good time. So It's Kate says, we'll make a thread in the tour section on Discord. Oh, that's great. Conoclass says, Henry, I got a new job and moving to Tennessee in a month. Could you do a show in Nashville? Yeah, there's a venue in Nashville that I have my eye on as well. So we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. Nashville's a fun town. I have a lot of fun there. Can I just do a poll? If we did Nashville, would there be a lot of people out there that live close enough that you'd be able to come to a show? Because the problem sometimes is that I'll do a show, but it'll be fun for me, but nobody would ever show up. Ladies Laid says, would I ever come to Norway? I would love to. I don't see how I could make that happen. I would do it if it was an offer on the table for some kind of a. Ladies Laid says, I will travel there. Are you talking about Norway or to Nashville? And bring people too. Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah, Ladies Laid, you asked about Norway. Boy, that would be fun. Now, Ladies Laid, can I ask, do people generally, this is probably a dumb question, but people will understand my music and the English lyrics, or oh, Ladies Laid is saying Nashville. Oh, yeah, okay, great. Beelsby says, oh, amazing, Henry, you got a beef. Yeah, I sure do. Let's see what's going on here. Hot over. Fuck that. Androphyte says, do people understand English in Nashville? No, I was talking about Norway. Sorry about that. That might have been a bit of a miscommunication there. Fondue Yourself says, I can't go to Nashville, but my friend might if I tell her. She loves your YouTube, but I don't think she watches here. Well, the YouTube is where it all started, and I'm still putting stuff up there and having a lot of fun with it. Corinne Opinion says, some people could argue they don't. Yeah, that's true. Ladies Laid says, yeah, it's the same as Norwegian to us. I would imagine. Okay. Oh, that was a bad move. I just made my first error. That was a bad move. Now I gotta hope that I get another one of those bugs. I gotta get over more. Just made it a boo-boo. That wasn't a good move either. Ooh. Boy, that's hot. Oh, that one worked. That was good.
I can't just sit here and sniff it all day.
Oh, here we go. Start anus.
Fuck that.
Now that's what I want to do is I want to get this one into that little crevice there. No, I knew it wasn't going to work. Computer stop. Okay, that's our... I'm just going to take that out of the oven now. All right, everybody chill for just a sec. We're going to be taking this out of the oven. Probably way too hot to do anything with. Smells pretty interesting. Okay. But we're doing pretty well with this game right about now, so I don't want anything to distract me too much from it. Oh. Boy, I can hear the sweet potatoes sizzling. Can you hear that? Androphyte says, are there any other shapes of anises? I've only heard about the star kind. Yeah, to me it's a very strange kind of food, and the only time that I ever used it in cooking was in my Jello shots, I believe. Thanksgiving Day Jello shots, to give it that sort of autumnal flavor.
Look at the fucking mess that we made.
Boy, I can, you know, the kitchen is one of those places where a lot of dangerous things happen, and sometimes you really need to use foul language. Foul language has been shown in studies to be a catharsis. They call it a catharsis. It makes you feel better when you say it, especially if you're in pain, or if you fail at something, or you're just generally
Holy shit.
off-put by something and it's bothering you. Oh boy. Ah, that sucks. Maybe it'll go in through here. Ah. Yeah, I think our luck is running out here. Now I'm starting to get distracted with my food, so I might be failing a little bit. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put on our pork chop just a little longer, because now it's probably cold, and I don't want cold pork chop.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I think we're back in business. Whoa, that was a boon. That was quite an awesome little situation that just happened right there. Belsby says 2 beefs. Yeah, I've had a couple of beefs.
Fucking mess that we made.
Boy, look at that beautiful roast beef. So 2 beefs is a good sign, right? We got to get another beef. We got to get at least one more beef here.
Ooh. Boy, that's hot.
I can't just sit here and sniff it all day. We've got work to do.
Oh,
Can't just sit here. Got work to do.
We conquered.
Can't just sit here.
We fought.
Can't just sit here. Got work to do.
oh, is that it? Oh, I didn't do nearly as well as you guys did. My goodness. Sorry about that. I just chat myself. Did I at least get on the leaderboard?
So good, I can just
55.75.
Sorry about that.
Okay, I want to get out.
Chat myself.
That's it, and that was a really good score. Okay, cool. Let's see if I'm on the leaderboard.
Does anybody know how to turn this off? Stop farting.
I'm just gonna scroll down and see if I see my name. There. Oh, wait, not Henry. And Henry. Wow, look at that. Not Henry and Henry both have the exact same score. That's amazing. What a trip. Okay, thank you, Beelzebub, so much for giving us that game. It was a lot of fun, and our food is now ready. I'm just sort of cooking up our pork chop a little bit longer here, but let's see what the hell we've got to work with here. I also want to check in and see if we've had any of these. Oh, look at that. Official Bon Jovi. So that's the cool thing that happened today. The real Bon Jovi from all the records and all the hits, you know, Living on a Prayer or whatever, has joined us and is watching the show. And not only that, but also supporting it. So thank you, Bon Jovi, for your support. And let's go ahead now and see how we're doing. Don't forget, we are being sponsored today by Smithfield Prepared Pork Products. So we've got this really cool situation where they will be taking care of half of the subscription price. So you've got discounted subscriptions. I'm going to start getting ready to... Well, oh wait, we haven't really finished our dish. Let's see what it is here. We want the potatoes tender when pierced with a knife. Place it under a bridge for a few minutes. If you wish the top to be deeper down, but watch closely. Remove from oven and let cool for 30 minutes. So that was smart of me to take it out and let it sort of cool down a little bit. And I think we're basically just going to take some of that and I want to show you guys what it looks like. Uh-oh, brisket's going, oh no, okay, that doesn't mean that's not live. My iPhone, in other words, the brisket cam has run out of battery, so it just shows the last thing that brisket was doing when it ran out, which is not too much different from what he's doing now. So, all right, here we go. Let's see what this is. I don't really know what exactly we made here today. It's called potatoes au gratin with Gruyere au gratin. Or no, potatoes with gratin and Gruyere Au Gratin. So I don't know if that means that the au gratin is served au gratin or if the Gruyere is au gratin. But let's take a forkful here and lay it down as a bed, because that's all I really wanted was a bed for our pork chop, our Smithfield pork chop. And that's what we're doing now. Okay. You guys see what I mean there? How we've got sort of a bed kind of a situation. If you want to see what this looks like, that's not it. Hold on. That's Bill Larkin. This happens every time and it sucks. That's not it. Hold on. It does this. Don't worry. Like belated cat roast beef. Okay, this is our food. Where is the frickin' there it is. Okay, so this is a picture of what it looks like, and you can see ours is kind of, I guess, in the proverbial ballpark, you could say. But wait till we put our delicious looking pork chop over that. Oh my goodness. That's gonna just make it all good. There's supposed to be garlic in this, and my garlic that I got from the supermarket looked nasty, so I'm not using that. But I think we do have a lot of deliciousness. All right. So let's take a look at what we just made here today. This is called potatoes. This is, Father's Day sweet potato gratin with Gruyere Au Gratin au pork chop. Okay. Now, I think what I'm going to do first, just because I don't want to have a fail today. I want to feel good about what we did because we spent a lot of time here. Remsey09 says, not bad, Henry. Well, thanks. Let's see what it tastes like. So I'm going to have the pork chop first because I know that's going to be delicious because that's our sponsor. And these are always good. My God, that is good. I got to say, it's really, really good. So we're a success with this pork chop. I'm going to continue to eat that. Now, the part that we're not quite sure about, we're going to try our situation with the sweet potato gratin thing. I'm going to turn this AC off. So here we go. It's not completely done. Oh, sorry. I wanted you to see it this way. This potato situation is not, it's very firm. And I'm not sure I'm a fan of that part of it, but we'll see. And I didn't use garlic. I also didn't use Gruyere. I used a cheddar type of cheese, which is very similar. Computer, you can swap out Gruyere with cheddar, right?
You can usually swap Gruyere with cheddar in most recipes, but the flavor will change since cheddar is sharper and less nutty. Always taste as you go to adjust the seasoning if needed.
Which is totally fine. I just want to take a look at our alerts here. Whoa! What the Duck has subscribed for 48 months. Amazing, What the Duck. And it says here, hey Henry, sorry for not chatting much. I'm just so tired lately. Maybe it has something to do with it being past 5 a.m. Yeah, that'll do it. Anyway, just know that even if I don't chat, every breath you take, every move you make, every step you take, I'll be watching you and the stream. That's great. That's a reference to a song by The Police called Every Breath You Take. Creepiest, stalkerist song ever that's in the disguise of a nice, happy 80s love song. But really cool arpeggios throughout. Dark Ages says, we could probably assume the pork is going to make up for any shortfalls in the gratin. Delicious. Okay, we'll see. I'll just say the way that my system is working, in the scenario where the pork chop is fucking delicious, which it was, and let's say that this tastes like shit, that means that it would be a 3. That's my scoring system. So let's see what this tastes like. We didn't use the fouled up garlic with all the mold, so we should be good. But there's, oh, I see. There's thyme on this, which I think is going to be tasty. Here we go, guys. What have we done? We ended up with, I don't think we have a scenario of this. We ended up with a 4.5 because this is a 4. The pork chop's a 5. So why don't we call it a 4.5? Rounding up. Computer, what would you round up 4.5 to?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
I remember from math class it would be 5. Beelzebub says we round up. We round up. So there we have it. 5. This is a 5.0 dish that we just made here. The only reason I'm not calling the sweet potato thing a 5 is I didn't really grind up the thyme very well. I just kind of picked it off the stem and put it there. So that was kind of dumb on my part. But Carino Opinion says 5 out of what? That's 5 out of 20. No, I'm just kidding. It's 5 out of 5. All right. Have one more bite of my Smithfield hickory smoked pork chop. We did it, guys. These sponsored streams are going to be very long. They're sponsoring the entire month of June and into July. A lot longer than what we're used to. But hopefully you're having fun. We're going to do more gaming. We're also going to do more cooking more epic meals. And I just want to thank you for putting up with sometimes clumsily trying to walk through some of these things. It's a little difficult sometimes. So I just want to thank everybody for all your support. And we're going to be back here at 11 a.m. Pacific. Dark Ages, thank you very much. Eclipse Producer says the stream was long but fun. Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear it. Thanks, Beelzebub, for giving us that awesome game. And just overall, I want to thank everybody for just such a great time. So I'll see everybody. Have a great rest of the weekend. And I think, am I supposed to turn off the situation here? I'm not sure that I will do that, but okay. All right, everybody. Thanks, and I will talk to you on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific. And until then, I hope you have a great week. Thanks.